I'm always gonna say this. I have the best brothers in business. I wouldn't do it any other way.
People want to feel heard, valued, and respected.
If you're not gonna do it for yourself, at least do it for the people that believe in you.
What's going on, everybody? This is another episode today. Story time con Yuyo. Today we have Melissa for the second time. No, first time.
First time didn't count.
First official time.
Yeah, first official.
And today we got Freddy as well with us as co-host.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, today we got the great and wonderful Melissa. Melissa is. What would it be now, Melissa?
Yeah.
Would you like your role with the Chamber of Commerce? Like, what is your role, right? Because I was gonna say president, right? But it doesn't count as a president, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Okay.
So Melissa was the original president of the Hermosa Belmont Chamber of Commerce, Cragin Chamber of Commerce.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, so Melissa's the one that got the ball rolling with with Belmont, Cragin, and Hermosa, with the whole chamber. So that's pretty insane.
It's definitely interesting for
yeah.
sure. You know, because we're growing, we're now like in a transition role. So we do have a board of directors. I'm no longer a board member. So I mean, just to backtrack, my role at the Hermosa Belmont Cragin Chamber of Commerce is executive director and founder. I used to be the president, but I'm no longer president. Happily, no longer president. Someone else took that role. That's Jessica from Tacolan. We also have a vice president, Jennifer Santiago from State Farm. Our secretary is Marlene Garcia from MG Services, professional interpretation and legal help. And then we have our treasurer, which is Valesca Giron from Giron Apparel and Clothing. And then we have the directors, Vanessa Landa from Sutaqueria Talis. And Amir Aviles, who is the manager at Huntington Bank at the Brickyard, but also formerly used to work at the BACP, the department in Chicago that oversees like all the business oversight, pretty much, of business development, licensing, permitting, things of that nature. So we have a really strong board of directors. So I'm no longer the board. I'm the ED now, which is nice.
What is that now?
What's the difference?
So in my role, I'm essentially the liaison between the board of directors and our chamber members, which is where I'm comfortable at as well. So in addition, my role, I support small businesses. And thank you, Yuyo, as the chamber member, so you kind of know what I do like on a day-to-day. But I support small businesses. That could be like through marketing. That could be through navigating the business landscape. That can also be just to when someone needs to pick up the phone, call and maybe like ask for some advice, or when things get overwhelming, right? So we just meet the business owner where they are. And if we don't have the answers, we connect them to somebody that does. But I know a lot of people don't even know what a chamber of commerce is.
Yeah. So I guess if we're gonna, I guess, give it an illustration here, I think just for the guys, right? I guess for the girls too, but for the guys, think about a toolbox, and there's multiple tools in that box, and based on what you need, you grab a tool, right? So I think that's, I don't know. That makes
great
sense.
Explanation. I think it makes great sense.
Right? Yeah. Based on what you need to repair.
The chamber is the toolbox, right?
Yeah. And depending on what the member needs, you choose the tools, right? Like, so if you're a plumber, you're not gonna grab a screwdriver. You need something stronger to grip,
Yeah.
So I guess what you're saying is, if you can't help him at the time, you can figure out who can help him or her.
Yeah. I would say the chamber is the toolbox, but the tools are like the chamber members.
Right.
I would say that because the toolbox has no purpose without the tools, right? So I would say in your case, the chamber members are the tools, and the community is
the box.
Is right the
toolbox.
No, the community would be how the tools are used, right? To further that right, the development. So that's how I would say. But if, again, I tell this to a lot of people, if you asked me, what is it, maybe not 3 years ago, what a chamber of commerce was, like I had no idea, zero idea what a chamber of commerce was.
But everyone starts somewhere. I mean, if you would have asked me 13 years ago how to run a store, I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Yeah.
Right? But you start somewhere. So yeah, I mean, I think for the experience you had and where you're at now, it speaks for itself. I mean, that really does. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's wild.
I think we could go for hours about this conversation, but it's like, I know you've said it a lot. If you wanna touch that topic, we can.
Yeah.
But it's like, what about starting a chamber? Like, what got you there? Like, how did you start there? Like, because I'm sure it's scary as hell. Like,
for the audience, you know, because I think you told us already why.
So it's like,
for the audience,
I'm sure it's super scary. Like, okay, this community has not had a chamber of commerce forever.
Yeah.
Why me? Why start it? Why? You get me?
Yeah, you know, when you say the word Chamber of Commerce, it's like boring, blah, blah. You know, like, what is a Chamber of Commerce? It's really a boring concept, but it's actually a really powerful concept. You know, just briefly, what is a Chamber of Commerce? It's an organization. It's a nonprofit, right? But it has a different tax status. It's a 501c6 as opposed to a 501c3, which 501c3s are really common throughout the nation. They're charitable organizations, really great organizations that work in like immigration or education or healthcare are 501c3s. Now, the Chamber of Commerce is a 501c6, so we are a business association. Okay. So although we do charitable things, like, you know, you donate a lot to different causes. A lot of our chamber members donate their services or products. Right. We do charitable actions, but we're a business association. So there's we're based off of reciprocity. And it's super important, right? Like, if we give some, we get some, right? It is a little scratch my back, scratch your back. Mm-hmm. What does that return of investment look like, right? We don't sugarcoat that stuff. We're very direct about that. The chamber is made to promote the self-interest of the small business or organization. That is the whole purpose of it. It is your go-to center for business information. Like, if you want to find a local ice cream shop, if you want to find a mechanic, if you want to find a grocery store, right? It's the center that you can go to recommend different establishments in the community. But also it's there to help the small business, it's for the small business to leverage it, right? There's power. There's a book that I'm reading called The Secret World of Chambers. And it starts off with like a chamber of commerce is the most powerful, but the most powerless organization. And it's powerful because if enough people join and, you know, come together, you can really, truly change the entire trajectory and landscape of a community. That's how powerful it is. Yeah. But it's also powerless because without members, right, you can't do anything, right? So how did we get started? To your point, Freddie, my roots are in community organizing. So I told you 3 years ago, I had no idea what a chamber was. I've lived in Belmont, Cragin my entire life, over 30 years. And because I've been here for so long, I also thought this is just how things are. You know, it's like, this is just what normal is over here. Right, like, this is normal for us. Other communities have things and resources, and we don't. It is what it is, right? But as you get older and as time went on, you realize, like, you start to ask questions. Yeah. And it's when you ask questions and people are, like, start getting uncomfortable, it's like, I might be onto something here, right? Like, why is there more resources in other communities?
Well, let me stop you. Yeah. Because you have the questions, but not a lot of people take action. Yeah. Right? You could have the questions, but you took action. That's the difference. That's the difference of Melissa and everybody else who lives here. Right? Like, I do want to showcase that because it's like,
but it's not for the faint of heart. Right, you start asking questions to the wrong people, and it's just like a lot of closed doors. Yeah. You know, I've seen some really dark places. Right. You know, a lot of my questions have gotten me into trouble. You know, we won't get too much into that, but sometimes, you know, I really wanted to, when we were in pursuit of this, I wanted to quit quite often because, you know, asking questions can get you like in trouble.
And what was your motivation to not quit?
I think conversations like these, you know, working with small businesses for such a long time, you know, they're just having these type of conversations, like having people say that they need help or that there needs to be more investment here. You know, I don't know. I every day sometimes it feels like, you know, you want to quit, you know, so.
Yeah, of course.
It feels like I can't tell my motivation, of course, besides the support of my family. I got to say just the feedback of the small business community. The fact that they say like, okay, you're on the right track. You are helping. And I'm like, okay, let's keep going. If I got their support, if I got the small business support, like, I'm good. Because everything else is just like white noise, right? But you asked the question, you said, like, how did it even get started? Like, my roots are in community organizing. So I'm not a small business owner, although I do want to be a small business owner one day. So they say to surround yourself with people that are successful, more successful than you. So I've learned so much from all the chamber members. I'm learning so much. But my roots are in community organizing. I went to a community organizing school. Those exist. So it's not like a bachelor's or an associate's, but you do get credits for it. But there is a program called the CLP program for anybody that is interested in being an organizer. There is a program called the CLP program, called the Community Learning Partnership Program. And it's for young folks and adults to be able to gain the skills you need to make changes in the community. They teach you about policy. They teach you how to build power with people, right? Even how to confront power,
That's crazy.
Yeah, so this is
like a whole different world.
It's a whole different world. And it's stuck in my eyelids. One of the first lessons they taught us, his name's Joel. He's from the Southwest Organizing Project.
Okay.
He said, there's the world as it is and the world as it should be. And organizers live in that middle space where that tension is. And it can be really uncomfortable, but that's what organizing is. It's finding that balance between extremes, right? It's not denying reality, but also not leaving things as fixed, understanding that there can be change. So it started by my roots in organizing. And I think what really grew the chamber was listening. It's really important to listen.
Do you happen to know any stories of like somebody else wanted to also start the chamber, like in this area, but just didn't succeed in it, or just didn't succeed in general?
No, I don't. But I do know you might have her on next week. So when I first met Yona from Prince Studio, who you're gonna have on, she was connected to us through Jesse Fuentes, the 26th ward alderperson. And Jesse Fuentes said, hey, I have someone who might want to start a chamber. And I was like, great. Like, we don't gatekeep over here. You get a chamber. If you can make it happen, shoot. Right. Chambers for everybody, right? It's easy to want to start one, but it's really hard to actually launch it, right? Get it off the ground. Yeah, so one of my first conversations with Yona is she was interested in possibly starting a chamber, right? So I met with her.
For her area.
Yeah, for that area, because she's in Humboldt Park.
But there's one now, right? Is there? Or no?
There is an organization that helps the small businesses. I'm just not sure if there's a chamber. Yeah, I can't confirm that. But there might be. But nonetheless, she felt that she wanted, there needed to be more attention brought to the corridor she's on, right? Which is like North Avenue.
Yeah.
And I explained to her kind of what it takes. And she has options. I'm like, I'm happy to help you start a chamber. This is how we start. This is how we're getting it. But you're also welcome to join our chamber too, however you like. And at the moment, she felt best to join our chamber, which I'm super grateful for because she's been such a tremendous asset, to our community, and she's given so much back. But
yeah, she's very active.
But yeah, anybody can technically start a chamber. Starting it is the easy part. It's implementing it. It's the collaboration. It's the coordination. It's the listening. That's the really hard part because it's a nonprofit. So it's the opposite of a for-profit. Nobody owns a chamber. Nobody owns a nonprofit.
When we first met you through Diana, how deep were you into like starting the chamber, or it already had started?
I think we had just started it. Yeah, shout out to Diana from Las Damas de Belmont Cragin for connect. I was just with her, and nice. I connected her to a Valesca board member. She's gonna help her with some graphics and some website development, right? But I had just told her that that the way I connected with you guys was through Diana. Mm-hmm. And, I was really grateful for that. So shout out to Diana, amazing community leader. Yeah. But we had just started. So we were officially incorporated in April 2024. So we started thinking about it in January's when I quit my job full time.
Yeah, I remember that.
In January. I'm making boomers and broke. Yeah, so I quit my job. And it was in March that I started reaching out to small business owners, asking if they would be interested in starting this chamber.
How many no's did you get?
Pardon?
How many no's did you get?
I reached out. I was very intentional. So I reached out to small business owners that I've been working with for the past couple of years.
Great.
So they all knew me. They all knew my intention. They all knew my work ethic. So I did this little presentation on a laptop. What is a chamber of commerce? What does a chamber of commerce do? What is the purpose of it, right? Okay. And it was the same response across the board. all the small business owners were like, let's do it. Like, what? We don't have this? Like, this is another communities? Like, yeah, let's do it. So it was in March when we officially got together after I did my little presentation, and we applied for it. Thank you to Google. Really helped us know like how to navigate that application process. And in March we applied for it, and in April we were incorporated officially. Yeah.
It's okay.
But that's the easy part. The hard part of this is the actual listening, collaborating part, because again, it's not a for-profit. So like, even though it started up here, once it left here, this organization is not mine. So now there's like a lot of voices involved, and there's a lot of stakeholders and partners involved, right? And every day is about like humbling yourself, and being able to sit at a table with people you disagree with, and being able to have conversations with people that disagree with you. It's not easy.
Yeah, because then like when you have your own business, it's your own business. You do whatever you
Exactly.
want.
Exactly.
People do whatever you tell them to do.
Exactly.
But when it's an organization that you gotta actually work with a team and make a decision all together, yeah, I can see that being an issue. But it also, like you said, it makes you humble. It makes you, because I was just gonna add to all this while you were speaking. I'm thinking about a question in my mind. It's like, for all the no's you got, how many of those were how many of those people were you really talking to their ego instead of the person?
You got to find a balance. You trying to get me in trouble?
No, because like there's people
he doesn't
that
want an answer.
No, because there's people that get offended by. Do you know what a chamber member is, or you know what a chamber of commerce is like? They don't want to say no, but now they're like, oh, this girl is trying to be a smart ass.
Yeah,
right.
You're so right.
Like, I could just see yourself in those situations. I'm assuming here, but do you have any of those that you ran into? At least you don't have to say names.
Yeah,
just
at least it wasn't told to me directly. But I always walk into a conversation and approach it with curiosity and not ego. I have to, because if you never know how someone else is taking,
might see it,
how they see it and how they take it, but I have to navigate those conversations very carefully.
Yeah.
Very carefully.
And even in the board, I'm sure it's like you just said, it might have a disagreement, but at the end of the day, that disagreement might change the relationship forever.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
So that's why you hope that everyone has the best interest. Our board of directors, I'm very proud of. Because they range in such different personality types.
Right.
Sometimes people get to such a successful position where they just surround themselves with yes people, and there's no one that raises questions or shares concerns. And, that's not what I envisioned for this chamber. I did not envision a board of directors that thought the same way. I did not envision a board of directors that agreed with everything that I said, as uncomfortable as that was.
You need challenges in life to get it going. You can't always be a yes man, a yes woman,
It gets me curious. For like with all the businesses in the chamber, what is there like a business that you would say this is the hardest working business in the chamber?
What do you mean by that?
Like
in revenue or
no.
or like
these people are grinders, or this person in their business are grinders. Like they are they're deep in the trenches and they're just nothing stopping them.
We have quite a few, everyone.
Is there like one that just like jumps in mind like right away? You're like, yeah, this person is. I'm not asking in a way to like offend any other business.
Immediately, there's a few people that jump to mind that are just natural go-getters.
Yeah.
That are continuously trying to elevate their business.
Right.
I can think a few top of my head, but generally speaking, and this is not me like fluff, everyone in the chamber really does work hard. Everyone they're in such different journeys. Mm-hmm. Some of them just established. Some of them have culture barriers. Some of them have language barriers. Some of them,
still going,
some of them are super established already, right? So everyone is on such a different journey.
Yeah.
And each of them, like, I respect each of their journeys and how they're trying to uplift their business. But of course, there's going to be some small businesses that don't allow those obstacles to stop them, right? There's sometimes obstacles that get thrown in your way and you're like, oh, this is it. I'm going to take a break, all right? And then there's some business owners that just bulldoze right through, and it's just like, oh, go ahead and throw 10 more at me. I'm going to bulldoze through this, right? So I'd like to say, though, everyone in the chamber, you know, I see it. They all are really trying to work hard, whether that's trying to learn how to use artificial technology, whether that's applying for leadership development cohorts, whether that's taking the time to reach out so I can help them apply for grants, whether that's, right, like hiring social media people so that way they can further their business, right? Like everyone's trying so hard individually. But naturally, there's going to be some chamber members, some small business owners that, you know, may lose more sleep in trying to grow their business than others. Yeah. But everyone's works really hard in the Chamber of Commerce. Crazy. I'm really grateful for that.
That's actually, it's like mind blowing the way you said it too. It's like everyone's in their own little journey. You know, some already passed through it. Some are gonna. You just look back at it. And you're like, oh, we were there too, or we're gonna be there too.
Yeah.
It's scary, but it's cool. It's also like, yeah, I mean, everyone's really like, it's their own path. You know.
It is their own path.
That's crazy.
You know, there's a few people that say like this whole chamber is. The whole point of it is to meet you more than halfway.
Right.
Right? Like, we're not here to meet you halfway. We're here to meet you more than halfway. And with that being said, like, when I meet people and I let them know what my role is, I'm like, my role is to make sure that you get your return of investment. I think I've even mentioned it to you both as well. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you guys paid $300 for the year. Now, how do I make sure that I connect you with the right people, or that I connect you to the right resources, or that I'm able to provide the service to make sure that you're getting that return of investment, right? Like that's the whole point of the chamber. That's why it's so important to, work in collaboration with people. We have a really strong board of directors. We're growing our associate board. All our chamber members are super collaborative and they're so willing to work with each other. But so how do you get your return of investment? So I'll ask you guys. Do you guys feel you guys got your return of investment?
Yeah,
being part of the chamber?
I feel like we have. I feel like that's one thing that made us go towards this decision to join, because we would always come up here and have conversations about doing things, but we wouldn't know how to execute them, or we didn't really know anybody in the industry that would help us execute that. We know people in the industry, but these people that we know are already way ahead of us, way ahead of like the community. They don't, and it's like one thing that we were talking about, like they're just into their own world. They don't really think about the community. Whereas we are in a position where like we always want to give back as much as we can. Not everything, obviously, but we always had ideas. We always kept talking about them. Like, damn, like, we don't know nobody. You know, like, man, we just need someone to make those connections with us. And then you came along with, Diana came along.
Diana
first,
came along, and she's persistent.
And then,
she's so persistent.
And we also come from a background. We were not born into wealth, right? Yeah. So like we also went through like a lot of the same challenges that everybody goes through in the beginning of our lives, especially getting used, right?
Yes.
So we were like, I know myself and my person, I was like, man, but what if they're just using us for this and that, like, man, what if, because you have to think that way, you have to. But as the relationship grew, as we started, connecting more, to answer your question, yes, I feel like we have gotten our money's worth. And really, it's not us, it's the community that shops here, right, at Yuyo's Fresh Market.
And I think that you're like a lot of small business owners in that sentiment where you have been so used to doing everything completely by yourself and figuring it out on your own that when maybe opportunities do come along, you're like, well, I've gone this far without it anyway, right? Like, do I really need you? Like, we've already made it this far.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
It did take me a while to warm up to you. It did take a while for me to warm up to you guys. I think Diana had me meeting with you guys maybe every 2-3 months or something for like the first year. I think it took. And then, I think you guys were able to see at some point the value, or you were interested, and, you joined, and, the rest is history, which I'm super grateful for.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of people are, again, I know that I have a quiet, serious poker face, but I don't mean any harm to anybody. Yeah. But he smiles still more often than me, here and there. And then it's like, no, I just don't mean any harm. I'm just, my mind's running because there's so many things going on in our world, in our industry. that sometimes I'm just glazing and I'm imagining things, solutions to things that we have to do, right? And it just happens that you come by and you see me like, oh, dude, this guy's, I won't talk to that guy.
This guy's business.
Right. But no, I mean, but yeah, we were also cautious. I remember. I mean, I know I'm super cautious about who I interact with.
Yeah, as you should be.
I'm not. I always told my brother, like, I can't be that person that just hugs everyone.
That's me. Sorry.
I can't. Like, I
was like, hi, Freddy.
Yeah. And that's fine. But you see, you won't see me doing that with the other board members, right? Like, won't see like you because we've gotten close to you because we worked with you closely, right? Like, like
sorry,
we've
been. I kind of just forced my hug on you.
But I'm not that kind of person that just walks into a room and I'm here, like I'm not like that. So I don't know. I'm never gonna have a reaction like that. I don't think. But I also don't mean any harm. No. I don't know. I just got used to being like that. I don't know.
No, and that's totally okay. And then you guys are business owners. There's a lot of people that are going to try to come into your world and take. Yes. And not give anything back in return.
Yeah. In fact, I don't even see us as a... Like I see us as a customer too, for the community. Because we shop for our customers.
Yeah.
We are customers of those vendors.
And there's something so beautiful about your story when I talk about both of your stories to people, and I'm just like, they worked at the grocery store that they now own. Like, that is so beautiful and not commonly heard either. And I love that. I love that type of investment. How you guys somehow were able to take on a whole grocery store. And I think you mentioned that you guys didn't really have experience.
Yeah.
You could just figure
not
it
owning
out.
it. Working it, yes.
Yeah, working it.
Yeah, working it, whatever. I could do meat, I could do taqueria, I could do produce, dairy, deli, mop, sweep. But when it came to running the business, it was crickets for me, man. But it was a learning process. That's what I said. As you start somewhere.
So
always.
Who did you guys lean on throughout that process? If you guys weren't part of like the chamber, who or what did you lean on?
Ourselves, mostly.
Did you use Google? Did you ask for help? Like somebody you guys knew already?
I mean, if we're gonna give credit, I think it's gonna be the Marinas family, and I got another guy named Peter Duvlis, or Duvli. I don't know how do they say it, but I think it's Duvlis. But they kind of like guided us more into like owning it. But they gave us like a crash course of like 6 months before they left, and then they were gone.
Yeah, it was always like, how do you do this? They were like, do this so then you don't get fucked over like this. But you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It was always like that. It was always like a backhand compliment. But you'll figure it out. Like,
yeah, basically. And I mean, I've always been very observant, so I always analyze and observe my former boss. So that basically just by visually seeing the operation of day to day, and then. Like, for example, like then we started, exchanging more responsibilities amongst our job first, because it was our job first, right? Like ordering.
So what were your roles when you were working here as employees first?
Yeah, managers. We were both managers. I worked for all of their stores. I don't know how. Did you work for all of them too, right?
But I wasn't not as manager. No, only on this location.
Formerly Fresh Market. When it was formerly Fresh Market.
Mm-hmm. Fresh Marketplace. Yeah.
Before that, I started from the ground.
He was a part-timer.
I was a part-timer stock boy.
What
in
a story.
2014, 15, I don't know. 2015, I think. Late 2015. And that's where... But I had already worked grocery stores before that, since I was a lot younger. I was like 12 or 13. Child labor laws didn't exist.
Yeah.
No, I think they just ignored them.
I remember, too. It's funny. I started working here because of Sal. I was like 2 weeks off, fresh out of like fired from Target. Because it was a temporary job.
Oh, okay, they let you go. They didn't let you go.
But the whole time, that the last 2 weeks before they're letting everybody go, they're like, hey guys, just remember it's a temporary job. We're gonna start letting people go now. If you worked really well, obviously we're gonna keep you. Like in the back of my head, I'm just like, shit, I want to stay here. Like,
I'm the hardest worker there is. I'm number one here.
But then one
first
day,
one let go.
Hell no.
That's fucked up. But
hey, look at you now, okay?
The thing about Target is they were not about like, hey, we're gonna fire. They were like, the schedule's gonna get put up, and that's how you're gonna find out if you got fired or not. So they put the schedule up, and I wasn't on that month. Yeah, it was like a week before.
So corporate.
Yeah. And then it was just that. It was just like,
I'm out of a job.
It's like, hey, you're not in the schedule.
I could see Freddy like, oh, please stop me. Please stop me. Like,
and I wasn't there, and I was like, fuck. And it was the brickyard,
wait,
too.
So damn. I'm going to write them a letter. Okay, like, wait, so how old were you when they let you go?
I was 18, I think. And, yeah, and then 2 weeks later, he calls me. He's like, dude, there's this position. They're looking for somebody that's really good with, like, the computer, and they want to do, like, pricing and stuff. And I was like, I don't know shit about computers. I was like, all I know is how to use a PlayStation. I was like, I don't know nothing about. And he was just like, but you're young. You'll figure it out. And I was like, sure. I was like, I'll do it. And, like, I literally started working, and then it was easy. I never thought it was hard. You just check pricing. You put everything at the right percentage. And you put the pricing on the things.
Yeah. And the whole thing started because I remember my former boss's dad at the time was like mad at me because I was already working my way up to management. He was mad at me, the actual manager, and another manager in the other location because we would waste so much time pricing that we couldn't get anything done in the rest of the store because everything was like one by one. And then I was like, man, I have a brother that he's good with computers, I think, and he might be able to do this.
Out for you.
Right? I was like, he might just do this. Like, what? How many hours do you think it'll take? They asked me. I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. 5 hours a day. I think they can get ahead, and then that way they focus on that, and we focus on everything else. And he was like, do it. Just do it. And then that's when I called my brother. I'm like, you're young. You'll figure it out, right?
It was funny, too, because I was like literally like laying down in bed. Like I was just like, I just didn't care. I did not care about anything. And then like he called me and I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, I guess I'll do it.
Start Monday.
Yeah. And he was like, you'll start Monday. And I was like, cool. And I was Monday through Friday. Like,
he had the perfect
schedule.
I didn't even have that schedule, man.
Like, wow.
I was always on call.
I was chilling like in the office, like I was doing like the paper stuff and all that. Everybody hated me because I was like the spoiled kid.
You got,
I came in
desk job almost.
right? At a grocery store, which is like
impossible to do. Yeah,
all the old ladies would take care of me, and all the guys hated me and shit. It was like whatever, and it was funny. Like they saw that I was really good at one store, so they would send me to another location, then send me to another location.
You were efficient.
And I used to hate it though. I only used to like working here. Every other location, the vibes are always weird.
Yeah.
There was the only store where I would get along with this location was the only way I get along with everybody. Or the other location, it was awkward. It was weird. I didn't like it. And then one day I just told them, I was like, can I just stay at this location? Like, I don't want to work here anymore. And then the girl was like, oh, that's the boss. And then he was like, yeah, I don't care. I was like, I guess. And I just stayed here. Yeah, and it was weird too.
So how long were you working here then?
I was here since they took over the store from Mr. Villa. I was here since day one.
I remember seeing all those transitions. I remember seeing Villa, Fresh Market, so many transitions.
My former boss sent me here a couple of days before the transaction went through, and I remember telling both of them, because his father was still alive at the time. He's now deceased, but that shit ain't worth it, man. I remember coming in, they gave me really bad service, because the way that they showed me how to work was if this is Mr. Marinas is saying, and you're not gonna put it in your table, we're not selling it. If you're not gonna put it on your own family's table, don't sell it. Right? If you wouldn't take this to your wife and kids, don't sell it. You won't take this to your mother, don't sell it. Right? So that's till this day I still follow that from him. And it's like I don't know, I got so used to him like being like that, and obviously his son as well, Mr. Paul, that it just stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I'm always gonna be grateful for what they showed me, but this store was really bad, man. This store was like horrible,
But in what
condition.
way though?
Yeah.
Because you ask all the customers and they're saying it was heaven in here.
Nah, man, nah. I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, the walls were supposed to be white; they were yellow. That's how old.
You remember it being yeah? You remember shopping in
Yeah,
here,
I
right?
remember. Yeah.
Like
Do
the
you
smell
remember? Do you think it was great or
foul.
do you think it was bad?
Honestly, it's all a blur for me now. I only know now.
Yeah.
It was,
I remember. I used to come in here.
I mean, I remember firing a lot. I mean, literally, they tasked me. I was at Central, the other store, for a while, training to be a manager. So then I came here, supposedly I would be ready. And I remember, like, Paul, the first thing he made me do with him and some other guy, which was the other manager in charge with me, alongside with me, he made us fire at least, like, 8 to 9 people right off the bat. That's day one. And they were stealing from the old man.
Yeah.
They were, just underperforming. They were drinking on the job. Like, when they sent me here, that's why I told them, no, I don't think this is gonna be a good deal for you guys, but whatever. Your money.
Yeah.
Right? But then, we started taking over and I started getting to it. I immediately stopped the alcohol. I immediately stopped a lot of things.
So they used to sell alcohol here?
No, they were
like
drinking.
Like all the meat department guys were in the back drinking.
Working and drinking. It was just bad.
So there was like no structure.
No structure, no discipline.
Like really solid
And
foundation.
then obviously I came in, I'm the fucking short Mexican dude. And
you start tightening the shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, guys, don't do this, don't do that. Because I know how my boss is, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know what he wants. And like, we can't do this. Or, no, sorry, okay, no. And then they would just grab their apron and throw it at me, and they even called me racist at some point. And it's like, bro, I don't care. I already know what my boss wants. I know he's not going to tolerate this shit. Get out of here.
Ooh, I got the goosebumps. That must have been so hard.
Yeah, it was hard. And I know the store is not like 100% in the best condition it
But
could be.
it was worse at some
But dude,
point.
I don't know. I don't know what Mr. Villa's tactics were. I'm not gonna say he wasn't busy. He was busy. He was really full. He had, one thing that I stopped immediately that they hated me for was, even the customers, was that they could go in the back, grab their own carnitas, their own barbacoa, their own chicken with themselves. And that was nasty. So I stopped it right away. I put a gate, and then they're like, nah, you can't do it. Even the employees like, no, man, they've been doing this for so long. It's just, you can't take that away from them. I'm like, bro, you cannot do this per city code. This is illegal. And
also, I'm imagining maybe some money lost there too, or no? Like, was there?
For sure.
I'm sure, man.
But the guy was just loaded at that. Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he was
He
just.
was maybe on his way out already.
He was
He
on his
probably
way out.
checked out. Maybe. He was
Yeah,
already
I
checked
remember
out.
him telling my boss, I ain't fixing nothing. Because I remember they were making a deal, and he's like, when my boss was like, I need this, I need that, I need this fixed, I need this. And he was like, I'm not fixing nothing. I'd rather just give you a discount. But he did. Look, I know the guy. I still know the guy. I still talk to him. Great guy, great personality. He had a great tactic. He had great sales here. He really did. I just don't know how he was operating.
Yeah, it's
like
just the
that.
community was on everything in the way the community was back then.
Yeah.
Was like,
Also,
there's the only grocery store. Like, it was, he had everything everybody was looking for.
Right.
What's it called? Like, vendors, they would give you 30 days. You could pay them whatever the fuck you want. And now it's like, even after COVID, it's like, no, you guys got to give me my money in 15 days or in 7 days, or pay me when the stuff arrived. And like back then, everything was just in his favor. Everything was just great. The store could be like upside down. Who gives a fuck? But whatever. People are just used to it. Across the street, there was a staffing place.
Yes.
What do you do in a staffing place? They give you your check. You go across the street. You go cash your thing. You buy your food. You go everything. Home. The guy was great. He was in a great position. Yeah. I'm not saying he didn't suffer. Of course he suffered. Of course he went through the struggles too. But everything was just kind of like aligned for him.
Yeah.
But it was great. I mean, again, like I said, I have nothing against him. I still talk to him. He's a great guy. He's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
different times.
It's different times.
There you go.
Yeah, literally just different times. And then after COVID, like you mentioned, after COVID, everything changed. The industry changed again. Like it did like a whole 180 and a 360 at the same time, man. Right. Honestly, man, it just like. But luckily, I already had more than 6 years in the industry, so people already knew me. So people already knew my work ethic too, and obviously with my bosses, they knew their work ethic and all that. So it was a lot easier, I guess, because I already had like a foot placed in the industry. But anyway, we're not here for us. We're here for you.
No, listen, that story is so important, and it's because the reason it's important is because if we don't have business owners that are just a fraction of like community driven, our community cannot develop.
Yeah.
Right. The fact that you are both small business owners, you own a grocery store, you were able to connect and believe in the mission of like the Chamber of Commerce, the organization, the impact that our organization with the help of our small business owners can make is going to be massive because you're not going anywhere. I hope to God you're not going anywhere, right? Small business owners are usually here to stay unless like they sell their business or they move on to their next journey. But small business owners are not going anywhere. Everything else changes. The landscape changes all the time, but small business owners are here to stay, right? So the fact that you have invested in an organization like a Chamber of Commerce, it means so much to the community and the organization because it's the only way we can make a difference, right? Like what you're doing here with your platform, showcasing small businesses, getting to know their stories, like that has not really been done. And if it is, it's on a smaller scale. It's not getting done enough, right? So no, it matters. It matters because I didn't know who the previous owner before you guys were. And my family would shop here, There's a disconnection when you don't know the face behind the business.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a disconnection. And I understand small business owners are busy, but there's a disconnection.
Yeah, one thing I like about us, I think if I am going to brag, one thing I do like about us is that I would say at least a good 60% of our customers know who me and Freddy are.
That's so important.
And they do reach out to us. And if we help, we help. If we can't, we can't, right?
I love coming in and saying, like, I see such familiar faces and they're like, say hi, like Rosie was down there. Hola, Melissa. I was like, hi.
Yeah.
Like,
we know
me,
their
you
names.
know my name.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You make someone feel special.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, you guys putting your face out there, despite how old you are, you both look extremely young. One, okay, so two. But it's so important for our youth. That's one of our pillars at the Chamber is, as we're growing, focusing more on the youth, like the pillar of youth, right? The entrepreneurship for youth. In our community, our youth do not have as many options as some youth in other communities and CPS schools.
Right.
Our private schools are slowly getting shut down. I grew up in a private school. Like, I'm grateful for my mom to have put me through private school and my sister working. She was gone before I woke up and she showed up after I went to bed, right? That's just how it was.
Right.
It was probably also one of the reasons that led to my parents' divorce as well, because she worked so much. And, you got to have some balance when you're in a relationship. You got to be able to see your partner once in a while, right?
Course.
So it probably led to their divorce, one of the reasons. The other reason was my dad. He's part to blame for that too.
Yeah, but they're adults. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. They'll figure it out, right? But, I lost my train of thought. Of why I even
private schools.
Private schools.
Thank you. Yes. She worked her butt off to put me and my sister through private schools. Those private schools are gone. It was Notre Dame High School for Girls that was like on right there by like Central, like Wellington area.
Do you know why they closed?
Yeah, funding. Funding becomes an issue. Funding is a huge issue. St. Stanislaus, my grammar school, it's right. It's that church right across the street from Hanson Park. That's St. Stanislaus. Closed down, right? Our private schools are getting closed down. St. John Lutheran, right there on Laramie and Diversey, what I think it was called, closed down. We do not have many more private schools left in our community, right? And that it could be for many, many reasons, right? It could be, internal, external, financial, mental scandals. It could be a little bit of everything.
Right.
But the point is that we're left with CPS schools.
Yeah, they're not there.
The point is that we're left with a bunch of CPS schools that are in historically disinvested communities like Belmont, Cragin, and Hermosa. Right? These CPS schools, it has nothing to do with the teachers, great teachers, but they're not as funded as they should be. And I mean, if we really, really want to get into it, let's be honest. A lot of our CPS schools, they look like prisons from the outside. Mm-hmm. There's this concept called the school to like prison pipeline, where like you can walk inside of a CPS school in some of the ones in our community, right? It's like very gray and monochromatic. It's kind of very dull. There's not a whole lot of life and brightness to it. Even though our teachers do a really good job, even though our teachers, try making it look nice, they pay out of pocket for like the supplies and things like that, right? I've been to other CPS schools in other communities. I've been inside them, and they are a stark contrast from some of the CPS schools we have here in our community, right? So our youth do not have a whole lot of options when it comes to seeing a bright future for themselves. A lot of them end up maybe working for somebody, which is fine, but a lot of them do not believe they can start their own business. So putting yourselves out there, putting your face out there, showing our youth, like, look, we look young and we have our own business. That's important, because I'll die in this hill. Like, our youth need to be able to see themselves as the next set of entrepreneurs, as the next generation of business owners.
That's the first step.
And the first step is being able to see the business owner in person, being able to see them on social media or when they walk in. Yeah. Oh, that's the business owner. That's the first step. It stays with them.
Yeah, it's kind of like super, super like, I'm not really off topic, but I remember when I was a senior in high school, I had this extra class. It was my last period class, and we had this presentation, and the guy goes, "Can I get a raise of hands of who here knows what they're gonna do with their career outside of high school?" And I was the only one to raise my hand.
What did you?
I mean, at the time, I was kind of chasing something else. Yeah. So like, I wanted to like do like social media and stuff like that. And like, I raised my hand, and I was the only one who raised my hand. And like, even he got surprised, and I was just like, oh. And he was like, "You know what you want to do?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Do you want to tell a class?" I was like, "No." But it was still kind of like shit. I mean, looking back at what you're saying now, it's like, I mean, my high school was fucking horrible. I went to Schurz, so my high school was not amazing. But like, yeah, it makes you like you're filled with other people who also don't have any ambition and shit, and like they don't see themselves, and that's the first thing, is you got to see yourself somewhere.
Exposure is so important. Being able to connect our youth to business-minded people, to mentors, to small business owners, letting them know, hey, you have options now. You can go off to college if you want. You can go to trade school if you want, but you could also be an entrepreneur or do all of the above. You can go off to college and come back and establish a business, right? You can go to trade school and start your own business. Some people don't even need college or trade to start their own business, right? Some people make it just fine on their own, right? But letting them know that they have options, right? When you really start peeling back the layers of how to develop a community, it's investing in our youth.
I mean, that goes back to like Mr. V. I gotta give him respects, because at the end of the day, I don't know his like school background, I don't know none of that, but the guy is like a rancho guy, He's not. I mean, you can tell that he's smart. Like street smart, money smart, and he's humble. You would never guess, what he has, but he's humble enough, right? And so it's like he did all that, and I've always say that to my brothers, like, bro, ain't no way he beat us. Ain't no fucking way he beat us, bro. Like,
beat you how? What do you mean?
Like I mean, like in sales and all that, like there's no way. Like, this is an old man. This is like from old school. Like, this is a whole different mindset. He grew up differently than we did. He probably didn't have shoes growing up, like ain't no fucking way that he's, that much smarter than us. But he could be.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but I'm not saying that to offend the guy. I'm saying that to encourage us to get our shit together,
We can do it.
Bro,
we can do it.
Yeah, si él pudo, ¿por qué nosotros no? No mames, o sea, right? Like, and we have, we got technology now. We got you, like
resources.
Yeah, like he didn't do none of that.
Yeah.
He was just here to collect.
Yeah, and you hear the customers like all the time. Like, he was here from open to close every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day he was here.
you know. But I mean,
and there's nothing wrong with that. The business worked out for a reason, you know.
Exactly, it worked out for a reason.
But it's also like, you know, like he also.
I admire the guy.
That was his way of figuring out. Someone has to be here all the time. How many business owners do you know that are like super old and they're like, oh, how do you maintain it? Oh, I'm just here all the time.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's like, dude, that's not what running a business is.
Yeah.
But it's
but
okay
it is for them.
Yeah, right. But it's okay. Like if it's working out, it's okay.
It worked out for them in that moment.
But it goes back to our conversation. That's where ego is like, no, if I'm not here, the business is not working.
Yeah, I mean, I've again, you know, I was taught from my bosses that the store has to be working more when you're not here than when you're here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how I was
like your
taught.
money should be making more money, like without you, like
right. So, like for example, my former boss, which is Paul, he would always tell me that, like, bro, if you gotta be here 24/7 to make money, quit.
Hey, you buy yourself a job. Congrats, dude.
Yeah.
You should be able to have enough time to think about other ways of income, how to diversify yourself, how to do this and that and this and do other things. Plus family, obviously, but you shouldn't be here tight your whole life.
No, and you make a really, really good point. And I think that you share a similar sentiment of like our board of directors as well, and what their vision is of how to help small businesses is so many of our small business owners went from A to Z, and they like skipped like the letters in between. They went from like not knowing how to start a business to all of a sudden they have a business, and it's like they're making it run. But now a lot of our small business owners are realizing like, well, why is this not working? Or what can I do here? And it's like, well, it's because we skipped B, C, D, E, right? Like you skip the steps to actually get there. So that way you create that pathway to allow yourself to pull away from your small business and allow your small business to continue making money without you, right?
Yeah.
So many of our small business owners have to be behind the counter. They have to be in their business 24/7, all up in there. And some of them are in positions where they have that boundary, right? Or they can put other people in place to take care of certain things, and they can do more networking and socializing as opposed to on the chair, like
And there's also the other people that we have some managers right now on site that think this way. We're like, oh, if I show you what I know, I'm gonna lose my job.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and I remember at some point Freddie was like that too, and I told him, bro, you think I'm trying to show you this so that you can take my job? No, I'm trying to show you this so that we can expand and there be two of us operating the same thing. I'm not worried about you stealing my job. I'm trying to make two of me, so that we can have 2 stores, 3 stores, 4 stores, 5 stores.
Knowledge is power.
Right?
Knowledge is power.
It's not so much, and that is in the Latino community, that is very, 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 very.
It's an ego thing.
It's an ego thing. Like, oh, I'm not gonna show him that because then I'm just hiring my replacement. I'm just.
Yeah, it's scary.
And it is. I get it, but when you have.
Yeah, but at the same time, it goes back to the same thing. It's like, Sal and I have had this conversation. It's like, okay, let's say we lose the store or some shit happens, like with the store. Like, the bank can't take my skills. The bank can't take everything I learned. I could go and apply at a multi-billion-dollar grocery store, and I promise you they're going to hire me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
it's like, my skills are not going anywhere.
Yeah, skills are not going
like
anywhere.
The bank is not going to come and hit me on the top of my head, and I forgot all my 5 years of experience.
Exactly. Like,
Change
it's
your
not happening in
chip.
business anymore.
Yeah, like that's the thing. And like going back to like when I was saying, like, it's okay to like work your business like 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. like you're there, but like know that it's not forever. Like, yeah, you're gonna struggle for a year, for 2 years. You're gonna go through that rocky cut scene, maybe more, 4 or 5 years, but it's not forever. Like,
I think nobody likes a micromanager. And it's like, let people work, let people do their thing, let them do their thing. If they're underperforming, then you gotta take action. But most people that you hire, most people that you work with, you're already working with them for a reason, right? Because they're not like the other people. So it's like, the only thing I can say there is, let people work.
Yeah.
Let people show you their skills.
Yeah, no.
Let people fuck up.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a big one. Let people make mistakes and approach it with grace, and don't let them feel ashamed, right? I think that's a similar culture that, we're also trying to create in the chambers. We're all growing together. It's new. Chamber members, board, associate board, myself, we're growing with the chamber. We're growing alongside the chamber, right? Like we're all growing. There's going to be growing pains. Same way of business. There's a lot of growing pains. And I don't know if the growing pains ever stop, but you just kind of get a little, you get better at
You got to learn
them.
to sometimes you don't have to put a fire out. It's like, hey, that fire is not going to burn down the building. Just let it burn.
Keeping us warm.
Just let it,
let
it burn.
Yeah.
Like let
Let's
it
make
burn.
some carne asada on top of it.
Yeah, like that's kind of the thing. Like you just have to know.
That's a figure of speech for insurance purposes.
Yeah.
True. But yeah, you just sometimes you do have to just let some fires burn.
Yeah.
That's kind of part of it too.
But anyway, let's go back to Melissa. I want to know about give us a little bit about
Melissa's boring.
No, I'm not. I don't mean it disrespectfully. I want to know about your childhood. Which school did you go to again? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like your child.
My
elementary. What?
I went to a few different schools growing up.
So when do you remember the most?
I went to St. Stanislaus. My Graham school is the one right there across the street from Hanson Park.
Okay.
It was a private school. So I went there for a few years. Transferred out momentarily to St. John's, which is another school. I forgot where it's located, like on Montrose or something.
These are all private, right? You said?
They're all private.
What is like, how much were those? Like
expensive.
What is
during
that
time, I know, oh my goodness, during upwards to, during that time when me and my sister were in school, it was maybe like $400 to $600 a month.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For these private schools, it was really expensive. And I totally joke about this. As soon as I get out of high school, I get pregnant. I'm like, you see what your private education got you, Mom? All that money. But my son is the biggest blessing. My son saved my life. So everything happens for a reason. Like I was down a very dark path as a teenager. I don't know what my life would have been. Could have easily gotten caught up in drugs and alcohol. I was not in the right mindset before I had my kid. And I had my kid, and he really put me on the right path. I had something else to look out for. I was really, I was just not I was going a really dark down path, like a dark path. So my kid saved my life. But yeah, I went to private schools my entire upbringing, and they all were in the community pretty much.
Okay.
When Notre Dame closed down. It closed down after I graduated, but I went to Notre Dame for a bit. Then I went to Mother Guerin, which is in River Grove. So you didn't have
like good grades and stuff?
My grades were decent. They weren't the best. That's why I can't be so hard on my son. I'm like, you got to get straight A's. I'm like, I get straight A's. And I was like, no, I definitely didn't. But, I give him grace. But my grades were okay.
Does he go to public school?
He goes to a concept school.
What is that?
So it's like, it's kind of like a charter. So it's like all
strict?
It's like private and public.
But
it's under the umbrella of CPS though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes to a concept school, and it's a great school.
Yeah.
I used to have them in the CPS schools here in the community.
Not good.
And unfortunately, the system just let them down. It has nothing to do with the teachers. Nothing. It just has to do with the disinvestment in our community. That's all. So the CPS school let my son down for various reasons. None that we'll get into now, but unfortunately, I did try to keep him in the CPS schools here, and it just didn't work out. I am grateful that I had the opportunity and the privilege to take him out of school. A lot of our families here don't have that opportunity. These are our neighborhood schools, so you can bet your butt that the kids that go to these schools and the CPS schools in Belmont, Cragin, Hermosa, it's like partial, right? It's because they have to, because it's a neighborhood school. Maybe some want to. I can't discredit people that maybe want to. But it's because those kids live in our community, and that's their neighborhood school, right? Yeah. So I was in a position where I had a choice. And because I had a choice, I did put my son in another school. Yeah. Even our local high schools. We do have some great local high schools here, but the way the boundaries are set up, unfortunately, in our communities, these puzzle pieces, they were trying to send my son to a neighborhood school that was a mile away when we had a local high school right in our backyard. Yeah, that happened to me as well. In middle school, yeah. And I'm just like, you're telling me I can just cross the street and be here, but you're making my son go a mile away just because the boundaries cut out weird? Like, that doesn't make sense to me, right? And it was already too late for him to take the testing to get, because you have the opportunity to, like, test into, like, another high school, but it has to be done, like, way before, in advance, and we had missed that window. So because he wasn't able to go to the one, I'm like, you know what? I have a choice. I'm privileged, and I'm going to put him in another high school. So he wasn't able to go in our neighborhood high schools or grammar schools. I did try. I'm grateful I have that opportunity, but most of our families don't have that opportunity.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or they don't even pay attention to that, honestly.
They're too busy with their bandwidth. I went to Malcolm X college for a bit for my associates, and mind you, I still don't have my bachelor's. I'm working on it. I'm still working on it. I've come this far, which I'm very proud of myself. But at the same time, I would love to get my bachelor's. But I went to Malcolm X for a bit to work on my associates, and the president at that time, I forgot her name. But I was part of the student body council, so I was the treasurer for Malcolm X for a little bit. And I met with the president of Malcolm X, and she was like this tall white lady. And I remember at that time, I'm like, this is ironic, like a tall white lady being like the president of Malcolm X College, right? But she pulled us to the side and she wanted to talk to us, and she showed us a book she had, and her book was called Bandwidth. And, I'm happy that she let me keep a copy because I read that book and it really changed my perspective on everything. So she was a really big ally. In her book, she talks about, it starts off with her saying, growing up, she never had to worry if her car broke down. Like she could always call mom and dad. She never had to worry about having money for a rainy day. Like paying a bill was never a concern for her. Like money was never an issue for her growing up. And she remembers that very vividly as a child, how she never had to occupy her bandwidth with any of that stuff because she was so well taken care of by her family. And she talks about people of color, Black and brown people. And why she wrote that book is because she wants to acknowledge that people of color, so many of us, so much of our bandwidth is taken up by, did I pay that bill? Oh my gosh, my car broke down. Oh my gosh, I don't have enough money for this. Oh the groceries. So much of our bandwidth is filled by that those day-to-day, concerns that she never had to go through besides a typical heartbreak and things, maybe a death in the family, which is common for all of us, whether we're broke or not, right? Or rich or not. But I really respected her and admired her after reading that book. So I was like, one, you're an ally. Two, thank you for acknowledging and putting into words what we experience on a day-to-day, living paycheck to paycheck for many of us, in our communities, how our bandwidth is so occupied with these things, but it spills into our children. Our children, the bandwidth, even our children's bandwidth, they feed off of the parent. So if a parent is struggling and stressing, our children feed off of that, right? So it's really tough. And I always remember that book, and makes me feel a lot for our communities, Belmont, Cragin, and Hermosa. We're such hidden gems. We are the number one most Latino populated community in the entire city of Chicago. And that's not to say that Little Village is not. Little Village has the highest percentage concentration. So that means by percentage. But Belmont Cragin, by total number of residents, according to the census, we are the number one most Latino community in Chicago. And Chicago is made up of 77 communities. That is a big deal, right? We're well over 79,000 residents in our community. Like, that's recorded, right? We don't know how many more people. And I think Little Village is like half of that. Yeah, according to the census. Okay. And I think Little Village is like maybe 40 to 50, 40 to 60. Like, again, they have the higher percentage concentration. So a lot of Latinos by percentage, the density. But in Belmont Cragin, we're number one by total number of residents. We have so many mom and pop shops.
But my question there is, it's always been, okay, cool. Like, we know that. What do we do with that information, though? What can we do with that information?
Yeah, so...
Because we can also, like you said, it goes back to like what we were saying earlier about what a chamber of commerce is. Because we can also be very powerful with those numbers, or we could also just do nothing with those numbers.
No, that's a really great question. And what do we do with that information? Knowledge, said it earlier, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So just having that information allows us to create pathways to see like what we can, what we can do. Kind of the reason why we started a chamber. We have so many Latinos, right? You guys might know this already. Belmont Cragin's broken up into 4 different wards.
Yeah.
I wish I had a map. Maybe you can pull up the map, later, showcase. But when you look at the map of Chicago, there's different boundaries. You have the community boundaries, but then you have the ward boundaries. So there's 2 different boundaries. You'll notice that on the east side of Chicago, a lot of the ward boundaries align with the community boundaries, meaning one elected official represents maybe 2 or 3 communities. one elected official, like 1 or 2 communities. It looks clean on the like east side of Chicago. But when you look on the northwest side of Chicago, the map, it's a mess. You got our neighborhood, you got the communities, and then you got the wards breaking up. Like, for example, Belmont Cragin is broken up into 4 different wards, which, for whatever reasons, outside, above my pay grade, it's like that. It's based off of the census, the remap. But Hermosa is a fraction of how big we are, and they're broken up into 3 different wards, right? Again, when you look on the east side of Chicago, the wards and the districts, it looks a lot more cleaner.
Why is that, though? Why is that?
That's a great question. I wish I really had the answer. All I know is that we can lay out the facts. There's a lot of Latinos in our community. Sometimes when there's power in numbers, and when you break up,
what
people.
Cardona told us. Remember what Cardona told us?
What?
Yuyo? He said that he gets to pick his own layout.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
So that's kind of dumb.
So every 10 years, the city gets remapped. The districts get remapped every 10 years, and they're based off of the census. So each elected official needs to have an X amount of residents in their district. So I don't know how much, the elected official has say in it. I don't know.
Because I remember he told us, he was like, I wanted to do it like a submarine because of something.
Yeah, so that might be the case. I don't know. So they may have some say in how the district is cut out, right? But I know that there should be like an X number of residents per district, right? A lot of this information I'm still learning as well. It's not so common, right? But it all leads to like a lot of disinvestment in our communities, because now we have 1 community, but we have 4 elected officials, right? So and these 4 elected officials, they oversee like 4 or 5 different communities, right? So it's like, it makes it a little harder, even though a lot of our elected officials are doing great work. This is not to dismiss any of the work. They do their best with what they're given, right? But as an organization, as a small business owner, it gets hard having to touch base with every single person because we're broken up into so many different pieces, right? Even though we're 1 community.
Yeah.
And it's not like that everywhere in Chicago, though. If you look at a map, it's not like that everywhere. Englewood, if I'm not mistaken, is broken up into 6 different wards. Imagine how difficult it must be for them to try to make progress or movement as a community, right? So it's hard. So what do we do about it? We started this organization. Like, it's things like this: powerful yet powerless. Powerless for a little bit right now in terms of policy making, but soon, hopefully, more powerful as we get bigger. We can actually start making, a real difference.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that it's gonna take a lot of the business owners here in Belmont Cragin to actually care enough to join. But also, you mentioned something that's very important that I have to really emphasize here: Spanish.
Yeah.
We are all Latinos, mostly. Latinos. You guys gotta speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanish. You're gonna get to them in Spanish more than you're gonna get to them in English.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that, like, if you guys are in this position, Spanish should be a priority.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get more. I mean, I know for a fact that if I go to another country and I don't know the language, I'm not going to feel comfortable to join anything.
Yeah.
Right? So I think what I'm trying to say here is you guys do great work.
Yeah.
But it seems like you guys are pushing away the Spanish.
Yeah. And that's why I really love you guys. That's why I really admire. I was just talking to Diana about this because Diana had mentioned something like I couldn't understand it because in Spanish, and I had just told her, I was like, yeah, but that's the best thing about Yuyo's, right? Is that they are making content in Spanish and they're staying cultural, right? Like, of course, I speak Spanish. It's not perfect,
yeah,
right?
We don't speak it perfect either.
But you speak it way better than me, and you're right about that, though. So I'm going to take that feedback. When we make posts and stuff, we always translate it into Spanish at the bottom in the description. But I'm not normally making videos, unless it's the other person that I'm recording and they want to speak Spanish. But I'm not normally always making videos in Spanish.
Obviously, I feel more comfortable also in English than Spanish. But at the end of the day, my customers force me to speak Spanish.
1,000%. You're so
I'm
right.
not saying that, I'm not, like, how would I sound if I tell the customer, learn English or don't come into the store?
Yeah.
How would I sound?
Yeah. Not friendly.
Not friendly. They wouldn't come back again. They wouldn't trust me again,
Yeah.
So I think it's the other way around. We need to perfect our Spanish so that they can continue to shop with us.
Yeah. No, you're so right about that. I will
That's
take
the
that
only
feedback.
thing.
I'll take
if I'm
that
gonna say that
feedback.
to the chamber, that's the only thing I'm gonna say.
I'll take
Do
that
not
feedback.
leave out the Spanish, because I think talking about numbers and people, that's where you're gonna get your numbers and people.
Yeah. You're so absolutely right about that. I will take that feedback.
Freddie disagrees.
Nah, I didn't.
Freddie's in his own world.
What did I have for lunch today?
I don't know. I mean, I think Sal is 100% right. But I think it goes both ways, Melissa, honestly. Like, yes, like, I don't know. I mean, I think it goes both ways. Yes, Spanish is like the culture that we grew up on. Like, that's our language, right? But like, we also, us Spanish only speaking people, we also got to do something to learn a little bit of English, man. Come on.
Right,
We
I
got to
agree.
defend ourselves out here,
But
too.
that's not what I'm going at.
No, I know what you're going at, but I think it goes both ways. I think it's a two-way lane. Like, let us do our work on learning your language, but like, let's do a little work too and like learn English as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a two-way lane. It's like Sal said as well. Like, if I was to go to Russia and I'm trying to change something for them, but I don't even know their language, it's crazy. But if a Russian comes over here and he's trying to change stuff for us and he doesn't know English,
That's an
dude,
issue
it's a
too.
two-way lane.
Yeah.
Like, I think
you, yeah.
I think it's a two-way lane. I think it goes both ways, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that for what they're trying to do,
I think
we need to focus on what already exists. I'm not talking
Yes.
about bringing over the culture. The
no,
culture's
no,
already
no,
here.
no. I'm not
right?
saying that.
No, I'm not saying change your
From
ways.
what you're saying, my head goes to, you guys have a lot of great information. It's just it's in English.
Right.
So
And not everybody
and the people that need it
here.
don't understand English.
Yeah.
And they might even be like, oh, es que habla inglés, no lo voy a hablar. Me da pena.
Yeah.
The same way you feel in Spanish is the same way
They feel in English.
in English. So just consider that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying change
Yeah,
your
you
ways.
guys do have a lot of great information.
Yeah.
Just
Because,
it's in
but I
English.
understand it. We understand it. We can use those tools.
It's powerful information, honestly.
Yes, it is. But imagine if, or just focus on somebody to speak fluent Spanish, and that's the contact person,
Yeah.
moving forward.
That was actually very.
So we
that's
do
very
have
smart.
Marlene.
Right.
She's a professional interpreter, right?
Yeah,
So normally
so
when we
that's
have
great.
things, she's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
speaks
yeah.
perfect
Well,
Spanish.
and
She
So
doesn't
she
bring
can't
up-
be scared of the
Spanish
camera.
video. Yeah.
You guys gotta make sure she's not scared of the camera.
Yeah. She's actually starting to get more into social media now, so she's putting
That's
herself
good.
out there more. But I'll take that feedback. You're so you're right.
I'm
about
not saying
that.
let's change the culture. I'm not saying none of that. I agree with you, Freddie, too. I mean, our parents have been here for so many years. They still don't speak English, not even maybe 10%. But, and I've had this conversation with Mom, too. Like, Mom. But I've seen Mom try to do things to change. She went to ESL, she went to stuff like that. But it's just, for whatever reason, it didn't stick. And I get it. But, I mean, again, this is not like I'm trying to say change your ways. No, not at all. I'm saying if you're trying to
Incorporate
reach
also.
something,
Yeah.
also don't forget about the Spanish fluent speaking people, because you said it yourself, there's more Latinos here.
Yeah.
There's more Spanish speaking people. If you were in downtown, hey, do what you got to do, because it's English 90%,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm just basing it off of the community here. I'm not saying that the culture. No.
But we have like our meetings like with our chamber members, and they're Spanish speaking. Like I speak Spanish to them in person, right? But on social media, the things we post are not always translated into Spanish, and that's how we can get a farther reach to try to be able to reach our
I don't know. I mean,
our
I could only
Spanish
speak from my
community.
experience. Like in YouTube, we get more views in Spanish.
Yeah.
And I've said that. I think I've been clear to everybody that comes here. I mean, we do get more views in Spanish. So why would we do something that's not getting us any views?
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I just think it's that. But no. I mean, other than that, I think you guys have really great information, and I think a lot of people can benefit from what you guys do, 100%. I think we've gotten our money's worth and then some.
Yeah.
So
This is mostly just to encourage, if anybody, is a small business owner, reach out to their local chamber of commerce. Chambers of commerce are typically in different communities, and they all have different benefits, different prices. So if you're a small business owner, reach out to your local chamber of commerce. This is what we do over here. This is how we're managing it over here. But I'm definitely going to take that feedback. I'm going to come back, and we're going to do this in Espanol.
Nah,
okay?
I'm not saying that. No.
I get what I understood what he was saying.
Yeah.
I was looking at it a different perspective too.
Yeah.
But you guys have very powerful information, but you also have very powerful information, which is 70% of this community is Spanish speaking. Not Spanish speaking, I'm sorry, Hispanic.
Yeah.
So that means that they are Spanish speaking. So we got to give them that information in their language as well. So then we can all unite. Truly unite.
Yeah, and look, and it's forgetful. I get it because I also have my comfort language is English, right? But
you guys are on a mission, which is very different.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And even me, like when we do flyers here for the customers, I always gotta remind Freddy, bro, Spanish. Our customers are Spanish. Our customers not gonna read this in English.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, bro, it's the same thing, bro. It's like, dude, Spanish. Like. It's just we can't. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But it's what our people understand.
Yeah.
So we can't just dismiss them.
No, not at all. You make a really good point, Sal. You make a really good point, and that it will sit with me for sure. 1,000%.
Not well.
And that will sit really bad with me. No. No, I appreciate that. You make a really, really good point.
I don't know, man. And I'm not saying this just to you guys. Like, even I said this to Mr. Cardona, too. I said this to the other people. It's like, guys, come on. You guys are the elected officials and can't even say hello Spanish. Yeah. Like, the people that voted you in are Spanish, bro. Like,
yeah. You've always argued that. Yeah, I do agree with Sal there, too. It's the same thing. Like, you can't even have, I'm not saying this in a bad way, Melissa, but like for example, like Cardona. Like, he really can't sit down and have a conversation, a well-spoken Spanish conversation with my mom about her own community of what he represents. Like, I think that's wrong. I personally think that's wrong. So, I mean, I think it's, I don't know, it is like, it's weird. But, I don't know. Like, you can't even understand them, but you want to represent them.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just confusing.
It's like me trying to represent babies. It's like, bro, you don't even understand what the hell they want or what they say.
You don't even have a baby.
Right. Or you don't have a baby. Right.
You don't speak baby language is when you
right.
Yeah.
It was like,
no, that's super fair. I think you reopened like a whole new thing for me because, again, when we put our information out there, like, when I'm having in-person conversations with people, I speak Spanish, right? When it comes to like our Spanish-speaking chamber members, I'm texting in Spanish, I'm talking to them in Spanish, but mostly when it comes to our social media aspect, some of our content, or maybe even a majority of our content, is primarily English, and then I'll translate. We'll translate in Spanish, but I think putting more information out there in Spanish will go a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, there's more.
You guys
should videos in Spanish.
You said what was her name?
Marlene.
You guys should really utilize her.
You need to have her on here. Oh my God, you will do the whole interview in Spanish.
That's fine. That's fine. And she'll probably teach us a thing or two.
And she's legal. And she does legal. She does a lot of immigration work and legal work and
this is what we want. We want to showcase our people, but we don't. And again, we want to showcase our people on all ends, not just Spanish either. I'm not trying to say I only want Spanish
people.
Be
inclusive.
No.
It's important. To your point, Freddie, if we are the number one most Latino community, right, in Chicago by total number of residents, and to your point, like, we should have at the very least 50% of our marketing efforts be Spanish, right? Like making those videos and speaking in Spanish. That's really
Cámara de Comercio.
Yeah, eso es lo único que como se decir, la Cámara de Comercio.
Right, but like for example, and that's what I mean, like, make a banner.
Yeah.
Cámara de Comercio. It might surprise you.
Yeah.
Because all I see is Chamber of Commerce.
I don't know what that means. Camber de Comercio. I don't know what that is.
Caramel malcriado.
Right. And I'll be honest, even in Spanish, sometimes people don't know what Cámara de Comercio is, right? So, No, this is why we have these conversations.
I mean, imagine if you said it yourself in English, some people don't know what it is.
What the heck is a chamber of commerce?
Why would the Spanish people know what it is?
What the heck is a Cámara de Comercio?
Right.
So una organización sin lucros de finos.
Yeah. I mean, you know what you're talking about. You just, again, great information. Just don't forget about the Spanish.
Yeah, that's good feedback.
It is great information. I love it.
We're gonna take it. We're not gonna just sit on that. We're gonna definitely take that feedback. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. You should.
They're gonna be like fucking Sal.
No, not at all. Not at all. Very grateful.
I don't know, man. I just think, like,
it makes sense, Sal.
I mean, it was like the military guy we had here. It was like, bro, I can never become law enforcement here because here I'm not protecting my race. I'm protecting all the races. I don't know who I'm working for here.
Yeah.
When you're in a different country and you're in the military, you work for that country, that specific race. Over here it's different. It's like
you're protecting somebody that probably doesn't even like you.
Right, that doesn't even like your race, right? So it's like you're really putting your life on the line for a country who has mixed emotions.
How long we been going for?
An hour 30.
Oh, wow. I thought we were going longer.
No. Freddy, ya la aburriste.
No.
Yeah, he's like, cut it.
No, I'm just like...
Fuck this Spanish shit.
I'm just like, damn, it felt
Or
longer.
you gotta pee.
No, I'm good.
You guys need a break?
No, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay.
Need a break?
No.
All right, next topic. I think
that was one.
Right, yeah, that was one.
That was the first topic.
I mean, we were talking about her childhood, and we just skipped to the Chamber of Commerce all over again. And I was like, okay, sure. Well, we left at your son, right?
No, we left off at schools.
No, she was with her son. She had the opportunity to give her a son, another school. Yeah. Because they missed their window. And then we went back to the chamber. I was like, what happened? I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. No, but that's what happened to the schools that I went to. They were all private, but they're all closed down. They're all of them from the grammar schools.
You said it's you and your sister, right?
Yeah.
Is your sister older?
My sister's older. Yeah, it's my older sister.
It's just two of you?
Yeah, just two of us. I'm the little sister. She's my older sister. My name's Melissa. Her name is Vanessa. When my mom named us, she named us intentionally so we can have like American names. We can like blend in because when they came to the country, she didn't want our names to be too cultural. But Melissa y Vanessa.
Maria.
But Vanessa is not a... Is it? I mean, think it's a Hispanic name.
These names can be Hispanic. I have a lot of Hispanic friends named like Melissa.
No, not Melissa.
Not Melissa, no.
Melissa.
No.
Actually have two Latina friends named Melissa.
They were trying to do the same thing your mom was doing, man. That's all I'm saying because that's not. I don't think that's Hispanic.
Yeah, well,
they're probably comadres.
These names can be said in English and Spanish pretty well. Melissa, Melissa, Vanessa,
That's a good way.
Right? And when she named us, she did it kind of just so we could stay neutral. But she had no idea that she actually did name us names that really fit us. Like Vanessa means butterfly. And butterfly is so appropriate for my sister.
Where?
Huh?
Where does that mean that?
I think when you look it up, what does the name Vanessa mean? It says butterfly.
In
I don't know.
language?
I don't know, but I know mine is in Greek.
Oh, okay, Melissa.
So I know I think hers.
What is yours?
Mine is honeybee. And it's appropriate. It feels very appropriate for me, honeybee. So, because
you like candy?
Meli is honey.
This guy.
Do you like candy? I don't know.
Like sting. No, I'm kidding. No, honey because pollinator. Honeybees are pollinators. Without honeybees.
Did you know that the honeybee is the vomit of the bee?
Is the vomit
of the bee?
No,
that's not true.
What do you
fact check it? But anyway, continue.
Wait. The honeybee is the vomit of the
bees.
Bee? What does
it's
that
the
even
pollen mean? Digested from their vomit.
No, you mean honey, not
honey,
the honeybee.
honey. No, I meant honey. Yeah,
I
said
thought
honey.
you said the honeybee.
No, the honey.
Okay, the
and
honey.
The bees vomit. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, honey.
I'm not good at English. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have an issue in Spanish saying it.
Say it in Spanish.
La miel es el vómito de la abeja.
No, it's not.
Oh my God.
Honey is technically not bee vomit. See? Well,
spit
it
back
is regurgitated.
Which means?
The nectar.
What does that mean, bro?
Hold up.
What does that mean, bro? This man.
The nectar used to make honey is stored in a specialized honey stomach.
What does it mean?
It comes out the same way, but it's not vomit.
It's not vomit per se.
Yeah, it's not vomit.
It's regurgitation or whatever that means. The same thing the snakes do, but okay. I guess.
Similar. Yeah, honeybee. And
That's a vomit, bro.
It's appropriate.
No,
Yeah, I know. I do. In our logo. At
Wait,
the
so
chamber,
you vomit a lot?
I used to. not these days anymore.
She was losing weight.
I vomit honey. You guys want some?
Okay, so what? Wait, okay.
Anyway,
I don't get
sorry.
the correlation. You have to. Okay.
What?
Why? You say you're a honeybee.
I said I say it's pretty accurate description because I do consider myself a pollinator. Like, honeybees, they say without honeybees, a lot of our ecosystem would die off without honeybees. Because they pollinate our flowers, our trees, right? So I do consider myself that, I'm not a business owner. I'm a nonprofit founder. So I just know how to really connect the dots. And I know how to, connect the resources. So similar to, a honeybee.
That's cool.
So I do consider myself like a honeybee, essentially, just like a pollinator.
Did you find that out before or after? You started with the...
No, I've known that for a long time. Me and my sister knew it for a long time. But we did intentionally choose the hummingbird, El Colibri, as the logo for the chamber because hummingbirds are also pollinators.
Yes.
So that's why we chose.
I'm not going to say any more
your
facts.
sister's involved?
Yeah, you're not going to... Huh?
Is your sister involved with the chamber?
My sister was involved very early on by helping me bounce my ideas off of her.
Okay. What does she do now?
She's
her own thing?
She's a nurse. She's getting her master's to be a nurse practitioner, but she's a nurse right now. Yeah, she's a women's and health nurse.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really.
Yeah.
Nurses are busy as hell.
Yeah. We're quite opposite. We used to be enemies growing up, but she's my best friend
now. It happens. Brothers, siblings.
And once we hit after mid-20s, early 30s, we became best friends. But growing up, we hated each other for sure.
Yeah, siblings be like.
I snitched on her every second I could, and then she'd beat me, and I'd snitch on her.
That's actually something that I never did. My brothers is snitch. It's just if I had to take a beating because he did something wrong, I'd just take.
That was my sister too.
Yeah, I wouldn't snitch. But when I caught his ass outside though, he would swing.
Outside.
Me and you, bro.
Oh, look at Freddy. It's getting flashbacks.
No, I used to get my ass beat all the time. Both of them were older, so I'll just come by and they'll just hit me in the stomach for no reason.
Yeah. We were playing with you, man. It's called bonding.
Stress
It's called bonding.
No. I didn't really hit you that much. I don't think I did.
I used to get my ass beat all.
Mentally.
Literally.
Okay. Literally.
Okay. So then school, right? A lot of schools that you went to are closed.
Yeah.
Okay. We can't go out of that topic. We keep.
I didn't go to. I don't have my bachelor's.
Okay.
I am working on it. I need to get back into school. I feel like there's a lot of people in the world that don't take you seriously without your bachelor's.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of people like that, especially in the rooms. I'm in rooms with a lot of people like that. I'm trying to get my degree for myself.
I have a question about that. I'm so sorry. I know we keep.
No, yeah.
Can you just lie? They can't just fact check. What are you just gonna pull it out of your pocket? I always carry my bachelor's.
Technically, you could lie, but I feel like if they really wanted to, they can go into the directory, the database, and find if you graduated from a college.
But then that would speak more volumes about them than you, wouldn't that?
No, they'd be like, you're a liar. You definitely can't.
No, because it'd be like, bro, you're really looking that hard to prove something. I didn't have my bachelor's, and we're still in the same room. What does this say about each other?
But it's what you just said. Some people take it as very important. Some people would really get up and walk away because they're not at the same level.
And I want to be a person of integrity. You know what I mean? I want to be a person of integrity. So technically, can you lie? Yeah, maybe if you're having a conversation with somebody, yeah, I got my bachelor's, I went to this school, right? Like, you technically could lie, but I do want to be a person of integrity.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's the same thing.
It was just the first that came to my head. I was just like.
But technically, I could.
It's the same thing as, I've seen people lie about being a veteran.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro,
often.
I could never do that. I couldn't do that because I feel bad. Dude, I didn't do nothing.
Well, start asking you questions.
Right,
Who did you serve? What branch? What years?
I cannot lie like that.
Have you guys seen the one of Kevin Hart's jokes was, can we start fact checking all these marriages? Like, people be saying like, "Oh, we're married." It's like, can you show me a certificate? Because I don't know if you guys are married or not.
But why? Why
it's just like nowadays anybody was like, "Oh yeah, we're married,"
we're
and
married.
they never really got married.
Yeah.
You gotta start checking these certificates, man. A lot of people be saying they're married with each
They're
other.
not. They've been together a really long time.
Yeah, kind of like that. Like there's a lot of certificates that people just don't check out. They're just like, they just take your word for it.
It's so true. I think college is also maybe one of those too. You know, my mom, she's proud of like the work I've done. You know, she's proud. But my mom, like, I could be the president of the United States, and my mom would probably still be like,
"What about your bachelor's?"
And there is people.
Like
there's people like that.
Yeah.
There's people that pay no attention to that, and then there's the other side of people that really care about that.
Yeah.
It's just there's no in between.
And I want to, I want to keep pursuing my bachelor's, because I want to do it for myself at this point.
Yeah.
I want to prove I think I've proven to myself that like I can get far with experience and by teaching also being self-taught, but also learning from others. But I want to prove it to myself because I want to add more value. I want to add more value to the work I do. Right? I want to finish getting my bachelor's in business administration. I want to know more about that world, right? Like now I can take my experience, what I've learned from other people, what I'm learning, and combine it with the actual college level education.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That way I can bring more value
I feel
to the
like
chamber.
some kids just going back a little bit to what you said earlier, Freddie, like where like when your teacher asked that question and you knew what you wanted to do at the time. There's also the other kid that doesn't know what to do in high school, but like as they get older, it's like, huh. A light bulb comes off. I really want to do this. And I feel like that happened to you, like, I really want to start a chamber. Oh, I really want to pursue a bachelor's, stuff like that.
I fell into it. So
right.
Like I never ever imagined myself starting a business or founding an organization.
Okay.
I fell into this work. And the reason I fell into it is because when I was going to Malcolm X, I was on my way. This is in 2017. I was crossing the street. I was on my way to the college to take my midterms for African American Studies. And as I was crossing the street at a stop sign, I was almost on the other side. A car hit me. During that time, I did have a scholarship for crossing country. So I was gonna, I was gonna activate that, but I didn't even get a chance to use that scholarship. I was a big runner during that time. I had done the Bank of America marathon. The coach at Malcolm X was interested in me, saying that like I had some potential, and I was like, cool. But I got hit by a car. And I got hit by a car. They broke my leg. I got bruised ribs. I got like a concussion, and my life changed ever since. Like could I run a marathon? Sure, if I really like pushed myself with the right making sure I took care of my body. But essentially, my leg is never the same. I have a chronic arthritis on my right leg now. Right, the only way I can get rid of it is through surgery. So I look young and I look fit, but that car accident that when someone hit me, it really changed the trajectory of my life because then. That's how I got into community work. Never had any like technical desire to be in community work. Never knew what that world was like. So I kind of fell into it. After I broke my leg is when I started. I saw a job posting for an organization in the community, saying that they needed this job, this role, and it's like smile at people on the corridors, which is the streets, like meet business owners. Keep the neighborhood clean. And I was like, I could do all of this. And it's right next door. Like, I can walk to this place. Great. That's when I got that job. I launched that program. I don't know if you see them, but it's like the guys and the girls in the blue vests. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they're called community ambassadors.
Yeah. What do they do anyway?
So during Mayor Lori Lightfoot's administration, she launched an initiative called the Community Ambassador Program, where 10 neighborhoods were chosen. 10 neighborhoods that suffered during the pandemic. And Lori Lightfoot funded this program to launch people to activate those neighborhoods, to walk up and down the corridors and to be a friendly face to residents, but also to like let the community know, like if there's a local store, hey, do you know where where can I find a gift shop? The ambassadors can be like, oh, actually, there's a lot of gift shops around here, right? So there is supposed to be a friendly face, a presence in the community. It was the first time that initiative was launched. It's never been done before. That's the job posting I saw for the organization. The organization was looking for an ambassador. And I was like, I could do this. Like, I love talking to people. I love walking. I love smiling. Like, I could do this, and it's in my neck of the woods. I got into that role. I became an ambassador. But but I realized that there was so much more potential to grow that program because it was so brand new. Nobody really knew how to grow it. I started a TikTok for it. A lot of those videos on TikTok went super viral. You know, like I was like, there's something here. There's something more to this, right? So then I got promoted to the manager of that program. And then I hit a point where I outgrew it. You know, the program is still established. I'm very grateful. And I think in other neighborhoods, if you notice them in blue, you'll notice in
I have
9
seen
other
them,
neighborhoods.
but I never really knew what they were
Like
doing.
you can go up to one and technically you should be able to talk to them and ask them questions about like the small businesses in the area, right? So I got promoted to the manager. Once I did that,
this was a paid job.
This was a paid job. Okay. Yeah, this was a paid job. And once I did...
Freddy's like, I'm in the wrong job.
Yeah, I know. Right? But it's a lot of walking, even in the wintertime. You're walking outside.
You get your steps.
Yeah, you get your steps in, all right, 1,000%. I just realized that there was more that I wanted to do, but it fell outside of the scope of my work.
Okay.
So, like, I wanted to do more, but during that time, they're like, you can't be doing all that. Like, this is your job. And I was like, okay. So I stuck to doing that job until I did a really good job at it. And I was like, I think this is successful. I think it can take off on its own now. So that's when I started transitioning to another role. I did the diabetes program with the Northwest Center. That's when I worked with Suta Criatalis. I work with Rolando Stacos.
Yeah, you came here with us, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so there's like a diabetes-friendly dish, right?
Okay.
So different restaurants in the community modified a dish.
That was paid as well, or that was more?
That was paid as well, yeah. Cool. So I launched that program, which is still in effect. And then after that, that's when I quit my job because I was like, I want to do more. I saw so much happening behind closed doors. Like at these organizations, I grew so much from them. I learned so much from them. But at the same time, I'm like, I would do things differently.
Yeah.
If it was up to me. And I'm just very grateful for a very supportive family, a supportive like sister, mom, dad. After that, after I quit my job, that's when I like started looking up how do we bring investment to the community? That's when I found out what a chamber of commerce was.
Right.
And I was like, can we start a chamber of commerce here? Is that even possible? Like, what the heck? There's never been one in Hermosa, in the history of Hermosa. Like, that's crazy.
Maybe it was meant to be, man.
Mm-hmm. And the rest is history.
I think
now we're here.
I think that's how everyone's life is, though. Like, you get those very rare apples, which like humans, where like they grow up and they're like, this is what I want to be, and they end up being that. But I think those people are very rare. Yeah. I think a lot of times in life it's that.
You kind of fall into something.
Yeah, you kind of fall into something. And either you fall in love with it or sometimes you just get used to the same routine, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that's how it is with a lot of people. I think, I think sometimes you just fall into it or it's just life is just happening and you're just there and it just happened. Like I never would have thought that my brothers and I were gonna own a store, and I was gonna be like, that was never my goal. And I tell Sal now too, like when he first bought the store at My Jeans or something else, and I was just in the back of my head, like I was like, I'm just gonna be here one more year. I'm gonna be doing something else by then. Like I already have my plans. I already have my, and then like next thing you know, it's like you're still here. Your goals are different. Now you love this more than you used to love this. Now and it's like shit. Like everything's just. Life is just happening. You just happen to be in it.
Yeah.
And that's literally what it is.
Yeah,
it's those very rare apples where it's like,
Yeah.
I remember being 5 years old and I was like, I want to be a NASCAR driver, and he's the best NASCAR driver ever, right? Those are super rare. And then you get the other guy who's a world champion, 3 times world champion. No, I wanted to be a boxer, dude. Like, I never thought about driving. My dad took me one day and I liked it. And a job opening was open. I took it, and now I'm the best NASCAR driver.
A Mexican OT did that. You know who he is, right?
Yeah, Mexican OT. Do you know the rapper?
The rapper?
No. Mexican OT?
He's Mexican. You know what that stands
for,
rapper. OT?
What does it mean?
Oh, no.
I think I heard it in a podcast that he did. He's
Texas?
a Mexican on time.
That's rare.
I don't know.
That's rare for sure.
Yeah, because they were asking him, what does OT mean? He's like, yeah, Mexican on time, bro. I was like, what? Anyway, but he said
the same thing. He didn't want to be a rapper.
Yeah, he didn't want to be a rapper. He's like, his dad made him, told him like from the beginning, like from a kid, you're gonna be a rapper. Like his mom and his dad, like you're gonna be a rapper, so you're gonna listen to all these songs, and you're gonna be a rapper one day. And he became a rapper.
Yeah.
And even he says it in those interviews. He's like, I have fun with this. I'm not even really doing this because I know what I'm doing. I'm just having fun with it. Imagine what I'm gonna do when I understand it. I was like, that was like, fuck. To me, like, Jesus. That's crazy to have that skill and just have fun with it. And then he's saying, I'm not even focused right now. I'm just having fun with it.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like the Nepo babies too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like my dad is like, he owns a multi-million-dollar business and I learned it because he forced me to it. But it's like, dude, it's still a skill that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah.
And you could just take that skill and go somewhere else and just like, now it's your own, you know?
I think I had to say that to you a couple times. I was like, bro, you're looking about something else and we already have something established here. You already are somebody here, you know? I think I had to say that to you a couple times.
Yeah, even like stuff like that too.
It was like, bro, what are you doing, man? Why are you chasing something else when you're already something here? You know, like you have so much respect here from customers, from staff, from people that recognize us, you know, like you. Like he used to say himself, like, oh, bro, like customers recognize me at Harlem Irving Plaza, right? Or Hip, right? But it was like, and that happens to me too, you know? And it's like, it feels great. It feels good that people actually, again, because we are the phase and we do say hi to our customers and we do talk to them. Sometimes we don't even know their names. We just know they're our customers by, you know, by recognition, the face, you know? And it's like, it just feels great. And I'm sure that happens to you a lot now, too, now in the chamber, you know? Or it might start happening, you know?
It was happening more when I was, like, making videos, like, putting my face out there more. You know, it's a hit or miss. I like to record more than put my face out there. I'll put my face out there when I have to. But for the most part, I like to record. But it's a hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, people are going to recognize who you are, you know, what you're doing. And that speaks for itself. I mean, I think that's the most important part here. Like, just don't be. I don't think you're scared to talk anymore. But you know, anybody in business, anybody in the chamber, right? Like, you gotta be the face. You gotta talk to your customers. You have to, you know, introduce yourself. Because I was like that too in the beginning, where like I didn't want to talk to nobody. But it wasn't because I hated people. It was because I was shy. It was because I didn't have that experience, right? Like, I mean, I grew up in Humboldt Park during really tough times. So it was better to stay quiet than open your mouth. That's how I grew up. So it's like all this has evolved into like me telling myself, like, no, they're your customers. You need to talk to them.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
need to see them. You need to hear them out. You know, no, you can't help everybody, but at least say hi to your customers, you know, like at least let them know that you will help them if they need anything.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing as a business owner that you can do is just put yourself out there. And I think that they'll start respecting you more.
Yeah. And I'm going to take that advice. You know, I do not aspire to be in this position for a long time, right? This is a nonprofit. I'm really proud of the work we've done, and I'm going to see it through until it learns how to run. Because right now, you know, it's past the crawling stage. It's like a toddler. Our organization is young, but it's like a toddler, right? I'm going to see it all the way through until it can walk and run, right? And that's not going to take much longer. But I do plan on being here forever. I have no desire to be in this position, right, forever. I know that my role here at the chamber was just to help establish this organization, right? Like, I'm in a very interesting position where the work and the people is my recognition in the sense of like, because it's not my business, I don't really have a desire for that recognition. Honestly, I'm quite boring. Like, unless I'm talking about like the chamber stuff, which kind of geeks me out. Like, I love talking about chamber stuff, like policy stuff, like community development. Like, I get really excited about that stuff. But at the end of the day, like, I'm no different than anybody, right? Like, than anybody. I didn't start a business. Like, this is even though it's similar to a business starting this, but not really. At the end of the day, a lot of my happiness comes from just trying to get this organization on its feet and putting the people that make it up first. Like, it's weird. Again, I told you, I'm humbled every day. I'm humbled in this position every day because I really have to put ego to the side. I can't tell you how many times I've disagreed with people, right? Or maybe not have appreciated how they how they share things. Yeah, how they've like you know, the way they say things, right? But I will tell you that like at the end of the day, like people just want to feel heard and respected and valued. Like I'm reading this book called, and you guys may have heard of it, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's a really popular book.
Never heard of it.
The theme of the book is just that people want to feel heard, valued, and respected. And I think when people ask me, well, how did this chamber start? I can tell you step by step on paper how it started. You file for, you file for the IRS. You file for a license, right? You pay $50. You have to do the bylaws. You have to go to, like, I can tell you on paper, step by step, how to start a chamber, right? The articles of incorporation. But the hardest part about this type of work, and the reason it's so humbling, is because of like the listening. When people ask, how did this start? The chamber really started by listening. And that's what I have to do every day is like listen. That's why it's like these podcasts, I'm grateful because it could showcase the chamber, the work that you're doing in the small businesses. But at the end of the day, like how did we start the chamber is through listening exactly what you're doing here. Like you're listening to my story. When you get people here, you listen to their stories, right? And it's not easy to like listen and like, it's not always easy to listen, and this, I'm just humble. I'm so humbled every day. I'm just so humbled every day because it's so easy for ego to get in the way. It's so easy for it to get in the way. And I have to just really take 10 steps back and just really think like, listen to their opinion, listen to their perspective, take it in, be mindful of it, be intentional, right? It's not about me anymore. We've come this far because everybody was able to give their opinion. So,
right.
I have an interesting role. I'm essentially like a middleman,
But what I will add to this, Melissa, is the people you impact today, even if you're not in this position for 5 more years, whatever, the people you impact today and the people you already impacted will remember you forever. That is what I think will happen, and I think it's already happened because I don't think we are ever going to forget the impact you had on us, right?
Yeah.
Or am I lying? So
He's like,
I can only speak for myself.
I 100%.
But I think
and like even when she does step away, your impact is still going.
Yeah.
If you never started,
if right, because like, I think the only way we can show you that, with evidence, I guess, is like when we try to do something, you're always our first phone call. That means you've impacted us enough.
We want to hear from you.
That we want to hear your opinion first before we make. I know it's up to us.
Yeah.
He knows it's up to us.
Yeah.
But we want that third opinion.
Yeah.
Right, from somebody outside, a third party, and we take it with respect, and we never just, wash it off. We're like, you know what? If she's mentioning it, it's because she's seen something that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
Right. So. Yeah, I think the people you impact today, tomorrow, in the next few years, they're going to remember you forever.
I appreciate that. I find a lot of peace. I find a lot of beauty in knowing that this organization is not mine. I find a lot of peace of being able to know that I can step away with it after I see it through. I can step away, but help out in a different capacity. Like maybe have my own business and be a chamber member.
Right.
Right. Or maybe be a board of director again. Right. I find a lot of peace in that. I find a lot of peace that this is not mine. Now this is like the community's. That's something that's something so humbling for me.
And I gotta say, man, like I'm gonna add a little more to that. Is being a business owner is also humbling in itself, because we as business owners have to put ourselves last. It is not. We know at the end of the day that if all the employees leave, him and I have to clean everything. Him and I have to get this running. Him and I, like at the end of the day, we are alone. Yep. Right? Like, and that could apply to any business owner in the chamber or in the world.
Yeah.
It's like if you're on a restaurant and your employee doesn't show up and you only have one staff, it's you. Yeah. You're on your own.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the same for us, man. It's no different. So it's that also itself is humbling, and that's why it's like let people work, let people do their thing, man. Sometimes micromanaging is not that great, but anyway, that's besides the fact.
It's not besides the fact. There's I love talking about the intersection of nonprofit and for-profit, but also the distinction of it, right? Because there's so many commonalities between both, but at the same time, they're so different. you know, and I only share a perspective from the nonprofit world. Like I know how to navigate a nonprofit world. I know how to try to develop a culture in the nonprofit world, how to make sure there's checks and balances, how to make sure everyone's voice is heard without one person feeling dismissed or ignored, right? Like I know the nonprofit world, but there is an intersection between business and nonprofit because this is a business association. So the way we financially run our this business is like a business, right?
Yeah, of course.
But at the end of the day, there's commonalities, but there's also differences.
Right.
And I don't know those firsthand as a business owner.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an easy task, right? It's not for anybody. So, yeah, I mean, the owners take most of the risk. So the owner reaps the most benefits. But
that's facts.
That's anywhere in the world. Yeah. Anywhere. But and what I'm saying is, like, there's not that much difference in the ego humbling as a business owner to where you're at as well. Because we might not have somebody telling us what to do, right? Or to vote on something. But we do have our staff that it's the same thing. If we treat them with disrespect, they're going to leave. If we don't treat them fair, they're going to leave.
That's so true.
If, you know, and it's just, it's a little bit of the same, just a whole different world.
And not all business owners care about that culture.
Right. No, not
all business owners
I've worked
care about
for people
culture.
that I don't even understand how they're still in business. But that's their stuff, man. You know, props to them. That's all I can say. You know, but anyway, guys, we got 2 hours. Anything specific that you want to talk about?
I have a question. How often earlier on, I'm sure you may not feel that way now anymore, but how many times, if any, did you feel like quitting or did you feel defeated during this journey? Like, I think it's important for people to feel like they're not alone because I know, at least in my experience, there were so many times where I just wanted to quit and disappear, right? And it feels really lonely. So I don't know, is that common or is it not so common because you guys had each other?
I'm always gonna say this. I have the best brothers in business. I wouldn't do it any other way.
I mean, she's getting right over there. Look at it.
I think that because of the brotherhood that we have, I think we've sustained each other, and that also involves our older brother. Because I think whenever I've been feeling that way, and I lost count, Melissa. It's not easy. It's not easy to operate a grocery store. It's not easy to put yourself last all the time, right? So it's like, it's not easy knowing that there's consequences if this fails. I mean, definitely my stress levels are not the same as they used to be before I became an owner, right? Like, because it's like really when we became an owner, we were on our own, man. Like, they could only do so much for us. And again, we had to learn everything from the beginning. So I think from the beginning, I was just like, what did I do? What the hell did I do?
Get yourself into.
Right. And I was like, dude. Yeah, but I mean, to answer your question, I mean, I think it's been more than 5 times for me where I just want to throw in the towel. But I also have the obligation and the responsibility for my staff.
Yeah.
And my customers and a service that I decided to provide. So I can't throw in the towel. I am not in a position to throw in the towel. But it does cross my mind here and there. You know, like, man, I'm done with this, man. I can't do this anymore, you know. And I mean, I had a conversation with my brother too. Like, man, maybe we should just lease this place to somebody, you know, that wants to really do this. But then, you know, we won't have that same control we have now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard too. So no, I mean, for me, it's been more than 5 times. Freddy, I don't know.
The first thing that comes to my head, honestly, Melissa, with that answer is like, if you're not gonna do it for yourself, at least do it for the people that believe in you.
Right.
You know, so I think for me, and I did tell this to Sal a couple months ago, or I think a couple weeks ago, and it was like, I don't want to make it to the 12th round and be like, fuck, I could have gone harder the 3rd round. I could have done more the 5th round. I could have done more the 6th round. I just want to make it to the 12th round, and if I lose, I'm just like, I gave it my all 12 rounds. That's it. I don't wanna end the chapter and be like, I could have done more. There was more in me. That's it. That's like, I just don't want to end there. You know, I don't want to be in my deathbed and have more regrets than I don't know, accomplishments or whatever.
So do you think you were able to get through those like tribulations easier because you had each other?
Yeah, 100%.
Like what if, I guess
what if you're alone?
What would you say to like that individual one business owner, right? That doesn't necessarily have someone they can bounce their ideas or frustrations off of when it comes to co-ownership, right?
I would say you are currently where you wanted to be a year ago, and you're not even thinking about it now. Right? So you just gotta live in the moment too. Like, you are where you wanted to be a year ago.
Look how far you've come already.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so easy to discredit yourself.
Yeah, super easy.
Right, like, because I just went through something similar like that not so long ago, and I opened up to him, and I'm like, dude, I just feel like I'm not doing enough. Right, like, I just don't feel like this is enough. But it's like, but when you really think about what you do for this community, it's like, why am I discrediting myself so damn much? Is there more to it?
Imposter syndrome. You've heard of that, right?
What?
Imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have a different take on that, though.
Okay.
I've never heard that. But
imposter syndrome is happens to a lot of people of color, where they feel that they're not good enough or worthy enough or capable enough to take on a certain role because they're so used to maybe other folks being in established positions, having that generational wealth, that knowledge. But a lot of times us, like, we deserve it, but somehow we can feel like we're not worthy of it, right? Like, we're not good enough, right?
Fair enough.
That's
never heard of that,
it's
honestly.
called imposter syndrome. Yeah.
Now I
Why?
know.
What's your take on it?
So I mean, from my understanding of imposter syndrome, it's kind of like preaching something you're not, kind of, you know? But it's also like, if you don't believe that you are in the position you are because of, let's say, everything you've done, it's also because maybe you haven't done enough to prove to yourself, like, I'm in the position that I am because of what I've done. You know, like, I can't say I own 5 stores and I really don't own 5 stores, right? That's like imposter syndrome to me. It's like you're trying to prove something that you're not.
Right.
But first you got to do it before you start preaching something. Kind of like, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my take on it. Yeah. Okay.
I don't have a take on it because I didn't know about it until right now.
Yeah. So that's like, it happens. Like I only said it because you said it earlier. You said you don't give yourself, like, sometimes business owners don't give themselves credit. You discredit yourself. That happens a lot with imposter syndrome. You discredit yourself and you don't think like.
I also think, like, for that, to answer the first question is people who are business owners who are on their own, doing it on their own, I think they have to understand that they got to build a system where there's more hands involved, more profits coming in, because there's double the hands, triple the hands.
You got to learn to cut a little piece of the pie.
Yeah, and a lot of these people want it all for them, right? But I'm the type of person where, like, I mean, I sell my own catering product. I mean, not as often, but when I do, I mean, you see the orders. I see you putting in orders, outside of work. It's like we are doing, the more hands that can do it, the more profits that are going to come. So it's like, maybe you can afford it. Just because you can't afford it doesn't mean you can't,
or it's not possible.
Do something else. You got to get creative, man.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I got catering menus in all my cars, right? It's like, if I have an opportunity to all right, come on, let's go. And I carry a catering sales order book with me all the time. Because if I can get $100 extra from Elmwood Park, just an example, You know,
yeah, I think it sounds 100% right. If you are alone, you gotta build a team around that, dude.
Yeah.
You have to, and then on top of building the team around you, you have to learn to give out a little bit of that pie. I mean, you look at Elon Musk, you look at Jeff
Right.
Bezos.
They
They
don't
don't
control.
own not even half of their company because they understand that bringing in value to somebody or making people money is enough for them to care about your business as much as you
Yeah.
care about your
Yeah.
business. There's some people out there that are just meant to be the best assistants in the world, the best general managers in the world, and there's other people out there in the world that are just meant to be owners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
when
yeah.
people realize that, it's like, dude, game on. Like, let's
Yeah.
fucking go. Let's go play.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to, like, I was fortunate enough to have the Marinas family give me a shot.
Yeah.
Because I was also in the trenches and I wasn't really mentally ready for any of this when they, gave me the shot. But I was kind of also introduced to it, to them, not to the industry, to them, kind of like he was. My brother just showed up to me, my older brother. You got a job, go to work. You start Thursday. Mine was Thursday. I was like, what? Where? He's like, a grocery store. Look for a guy named Paul. That's it. And now we're here.
Yeah.
But back to the original question is, you got to figure out a system. You got to figure out, you got to understand that the more hands-on you are, the better it is. That doesn't mean you're going to work less. Because there is some people that have
lose control of your vision.
Right. It just means that.
But you also got to draw a line with those people too.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
You got to draw that line.
Yeah, of
Because at
course.
the end
And
of
if
the day,
they don't
it's your
respect
vision.
that, if they don't respect that line, they gotta go.
And that makes total sense. I think like when people sometimes when like some chamber members will call me, it's like, I know you're busy, and I'm like, listen, trust me, I'm nowhere near as busy as you guys. Okay, like sure, like one could say I'm busy, problem solving or like working on like flyers or whatever, right? Connecting resources, but nowhere near as busy as like a small business owner, right? Like I am so excited for the future of like one day having my own business.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I've learned so much. Like I've seen like what to do, what not to do. Like I have the resources now, right? But I do look forward to one day where like I can implement like my vision.
Yeah, of
But
course.
at the same time, taking consideration what you said, if I don't have like a co-owner or something, it's just me, making sure
You build a team around
you
yourself.
get a good team.
I mean,
as
something
well.
that me and Freddie do a lot. This might help, it might not. I don't know, but we talk about mostly everything that one. There's times where I just go dictator mode, and I'm like,
At least
I
you're
want
honest
this,
about that.
and I want this, and I don't care what you say.
At least you're honest about that. That's important to acknowledge.
But 98% of the time,
You're asking for feedback.
I'm like, Freddie, what do you think about this?
What do you think? Yeah.
Rossi, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Or even some of the staff members that are not even in the management position. What do you think about this? And it's like, but there is times where it's like, I just know something's going to sell and I'm like, get it, going to sell. I don't care if you agree with it or not.
Yeah, that makes
Right?
that makes sense though.
But
that
it's only
makes
things
sense.
that I know for a fact will sell, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't do it like but we just talk about things, like if we have a disagreement, I think that's when we really, okay, why not? Why not? And then if we're just arguing back and forth, we just don't do it because it's pointless, right? But no, I mean, I wouldn't do it any other way. I think I've told you this many times. I have the greatest business partners, which are my brothers, and I am eternally grateful for that because I don't think I could do this with partners.
Yeah.
Third-party partner, because I saw my former bosses working like that. It was not good. It was always like, I'll give you an example. I would fire somebody. The other manager would rehire that somebody I fired. And then my boss would agree with me, so they would fire him back. It was just a fucking mess, man.
Yeah.
And it's like,
No
dude,
communication.
and that's one thing I changed here. Anybody who's ever worked for our family knows this. If the manager fires you, that's it. There's no Sal coming in to save you. You're done. You're done.
Yeah.
Why would I, take it away from the manager? It could be him. It could be Rossi. Why would I do that? They did that to me. and it doesn't feel good, man. It doesn't feel good. Like, how do you build culture again with that person? You can't. It's like, okay, so I'm going to correct all the policies you're telling me to correct. But when I do that, you're going to break them for this person because this person has 8 years with you? Come on, man. That's BS.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know. Or have I done that to you? I don't know. I don't think I have.
It did used to happen a lot, like with the other owners. Like, yeah, it was kind of stupid, yeah.
Yeah. That's
it's just dumb
like
culture,
lack of communication. You know, not everyone be on the same page.
Yeah.
It's really important for those leads and owners and managers to be on the same page.
We talk about everything. That's why when I like miss your messages or anything, when I get here, my brother gives me everything.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Whenever I need to get a hold of you, I'll call you and you don't answer. I call Freddy and then I'll talk to Freddy and then I'll call one of you guys. You know?
But that's enough because you know we are in communication.
Yeah,
So
and that's the important part. That's the important part.
I guess, like I said, I go back to this thing. I have the best business partners I could have right now, and I'm happy and I'm great. That everything's great. I mean, we're not, I'm not saying that everything is beautiful. No, there's obviously in the industry, there's things that we struggle with.
Yeah, there's disagreements.
But I have support, and I understand we have support, and he knows he has support. Right?
At the end of the day, you both want to get to the same place.
And I think that's why we survived without the chamber for so long.
Yeah.
Because we had each other the whole. So we technically haven't been alone. We had each other,
of course.
And throughout ups and downs, we had each other.
Yeah.
So I think, maybe it's not fair to the people who don't have something like this. But the only thing I can tell them is think about a system.
Yeah, think about a system.
Think
build
about
that
a system,
team,
and
find
I think
that confidant.
And I think that's where they should reach out to you, and at least give you the chance to give them an opinion on that.
No, and I think that's also one of the reasons for a chamber is for those business owners that may feel alone. Connecting to their local chamber of commerce, so they don't feel so alone. That there's people like-minded like them, people going through the same struggles as them. And that's why I'm so happy with our network. We have a lot of solo business owners.
Yeah, and then City Hall doesn't make it easy at all. City Hall does not even for the English-speaking folk. Yeah. Honestly,
the system is not made to be easy.
No. So I think more than anything, I'm grateful of what you do, man. I think it's
I got the easy job.
Impact.
I got the easy job. It's only hard.
No, you don't.
It's
no,
hard.
Don't.
The hard part
Spanish.
about it is like the hard part about it is making those policy changes to benefit the small business owner. But honestly, at the end of the day, the business owners, those are the hard decisions. That's a tough. It's even during during the pandemic, or even with what happened with immigration. Yeah. Meanwhile, people were staying inside the house. Like, our business owners still had to get up and go to work. They still had to, pay their employees. You know what I mean? Like, that is not easy, and it upsets me. I think my job is only hard because I get so frustrated when there's not enough being done around policy when it comes to our small business owners. Like, why are ordinances being passed that make it harder for our small business owners to get a license or pay more money? Like, that's what frustrates me. That's
and nobody's aware of these things. Changes.
That's what's hard about my job is not because I tell people I'm the type of person that burns it down. Like, I want to burn it down if I'm mad, right? But in the line of work that I'm in now, I have to navigate things very gracefully and very respectfully and ask questions properly. You know what I mean?
That's why it's humbling.
And that's why it's humbling, because inside I'm like, malfunction, like twitching, like, what the heck? So business owners don't have a heart, huh?
Hold me back.
Yeah, like that's how I really want to be. So that's why it's hard in my position. That's but other than that, business owners, it's a whole, that's a feat. That's success. Again, during the immigration, our business owners still got up, still went to work. Meanwhile, like, they couldn't just say, I'm going to close the business down for weeks.
And a lot of them did.
And a lot of them had to. They were forced to, right? Because it was their life. They were at risk, right? But that's why, and that's what, to your question that you asked earlier, what drives me, right? Like, what makes me do this? And I think a lot of that is like listening to the business owners. Like, what drives me is how are you going to let our small business owners, like, how are you leaving them hanging like this? Like, if everyone says small business owners are the backbone of a community, it's the backbone of a community. It's what makes a community thrive. then why are there not more incentives and benefits and resources for our small business owners? Our small business owners make up the culture of the community, make up the identity of our community, right? It develops our community. So why do we make it so hard for a business owner to stay afloat?
Yeah.
Right. And that's my role, trying to figure out how to make it a little bit easier. And at least it starts by connecting the dots when it comes to at least connecting our small business owners so they have a place to vent, a place to share resources, a place to connect, you know?
I agree. I 100% agree.
But one day I'm going to have a small business, okay?
That's fine.
One day, you know, Nilda, she's the executive director of the Logan Square Chamber of Commerce. And, you know, I consider her one of my mentors now. And you probably already know, Logan Square Chamber of Commerce is a very successful chamber. I mean, they have the Logan Square Farmers Market. People travel wide and far to go visit the farmers markets. And they're a very successful organization. Been around for a while. And she told me that the moment she got the job, she already started, like, planning for her succession. Meaning, like, she already started envisioning what's next for her, right? After she feels that her time is done as the executive director at the chamber, what's next for her? And that stuck with me. I'm like, you know, I love this. I used to do this for fun, but now I'm in a more role where, like, now I can start getting paid to do this, right? But what is next for me? And right now, again, I want to see it through. Want to make sure that we got contracts with the city of Chicago, that we got some funding, right? Making sure we got systems in place. That's what's missing between our community and other communities. Other communities have coordination. They have more opportunities circulating hyper locally. And they just have a structured system in place. And that's what's missing with our community. Is I just want to make sure that our organization is solid. It's solid. And it's well running and self-sufficient, right? And that way I can feel comfortable enough to take a step back, because I know this is not my permanent role, but this is the role that I feel compelled to do to make sure that the organization is on its feet, right? Along with everyone else. But when I am ready to step aside, like, what does my life look like after this, right? Like, do I want to teach and be like teach organizing, right? Do I want to have my small business, even though I already have an idea? Like, I do want to be a small business owner. I'm really grateful. Guess what? When I become a small business owner, because of the people that I've been in contact with, because of the struggles that I've seen other small business owners, do you think I'm going to make the same exact mistakes? No. I'll probably make other mistakes, but I'm definitely not going to make the same mistakes. And I'll have so much support.
Right.
Thank you.
Again,
yes.
That's what I'm saying. The impact you're making today is going to pay you back in the future.
And I'm grateful because of your experience, because of other experiences, chamber members. Now, when we do get new chamber members, if we do get a youth one day that's like, I want to start a business, well, you're in the right place, because we can connect you to mentors. Let's make sure you don't make the same mistakes they did that delayed their business by 5-10 years, right? Like, let's make sure you don't go through the same struggles they did. And I'm really grateful, because when I start my business, I'm gonna be able to tap into all those networks too. So I make sure not to make the same mistakes everybody else did, you know, which I'm really grateful for. And that, in a nutshell, that's the point of the chamber: to support each other, the small businesses, to make the community look better. And to support the youth.
And learn Spanish.
Y aprender más español.
Nah,
joking.
Basically.
Yeah. No, that's good feedback though, Sal. I appreciate that honest feedback. So thank you. I'm taking that into consideration, and I'm gonna run with that for sure.
All right. I think this is the end. 2 hours, 15 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah.
20 minutes. 2:20.
Yeah.
We still got a lot more to talk about.
Right. I know, but
yeah.
this time I gotta use the bathroom.
I appreciate you so much, both. Thank you so much for just being so welcoming of me, you know, and doing so much for the community.
It was great, yeah.
I don't think this is gonna be our last podcast episode with Melissa.
Yeah, the next one's gonna be in Spanish.
Yeah.
Mark my words, okay? And for some context, earlier on, you said it's our second one, because the first one we did was in Spanish, but I completely botched it. So it's a redo. Wow, you're not supposed to laugh at that.
No sabo, kid. Nah, it's okay.
Es que no sabo.
Pero la próxima in Spanish. Okay?
I think your Spanish is great, honest.
It's all right.
I think we had worse people who speak Spanish.
Out of 100%, it's like 68, 67.
That's good.
That's good
above
enough,
average.
Man. That's literally above average
for Chicago. That's crazy.
Above average.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, guys, this was story time con Yuyo today. We with Melissa. Thank you very much for tuning
Melissa.
in. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing your story and sharing your what do you call it? Your information.
Like, the experience.
Your story, your life.
No, I said story already. I just didn't know how to say
your everything.
Your Chamber
your
of Commerce
expertise.
information.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure talking to you, Melissa. It was great. I'm glad we did this again. Delayed good amount of times.
Yeah,
I'm
and
glad.
I look forward to all the other interviews. You're going to have some
glad.
amazing people coming up. You're going to have some amazing guest speakers. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Sponsorship.
Yeah. Guys, we also want to let you guys know that please don't forget that this podcast would not be possible if it wasn't for our very own grocery store. I was going to say
Yuyo's Fresh Market.
Yuyo's Fresh Market here in Belmont, Cragin, Chicago. You guys know we are here. We've been here for 6 strong years. We invite you guys all to come out, check us out. We have great taqueria. We have a great carniceria. We have everything a community needs, honestly. So again, these episodes, this podcast would not be possible if it wasn't for Yuyo's Fresh Market. We hope to see you guys here someday. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Melissa.
Don't forget about Taco Tuesday.
Yuyo.
Taco Tuesday, please.
Taco Tuesday. We got to promote Taco Tuesday, bro. Come get your damn tacos. Adios.
This is clapping. The young people. This is how they clap.